Okay. So I had so much fun on this podcast today. It's with Rikki and Charley from Dear God, It's Me 30. That's their podcast. They are just adorable, and they're fun, and they're happy. And we talked about so many things that we have a hard time figuring out what to name this podcast. We talked about having kids. We talked about life after having kids. We talked about lists, notebooks, keeping notebooks, keeping yourself organized. I mean, this was just really a hangout, chat, free-flowing, long-form conversation. So I don't really know what to say that it's about, but it is with Rikki and Charley. And they're great. They're so great. It's so great to hang out with somebody that you just can talk to for hours. So, and they're new friends, which is really cool too, which means you can make friends forever, as no matter how old you are. So, oh yes, they did the episode with me, 20 versus 30s versus 40s. The second one. The first one was with Jeannie and Kathy, I think. But the second one was with Rikki and Charley. I think it was an episode in the 90s. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this episode. I really enjoyed it. And you can also listen to it on their feed next week. So check out Dear God, It's Me 30 because it's got 5 stars. And I really enjoy it. It's kind of like Wife of the Party, but with 2 hosts that are younger. And definitely do their hair and makeup better than I do. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it. And thank you for coming back every week and supporting Wife of the Party. I love doing this podcast. It's been such a great creative outlet for me. And I appreciate all the emails, positive or negative. Keep them coming. I love the negative ones because it's hard to learn when people keep saying, when you just hear you're doing a great job. But that's how you learn is when someone says, hey, think about this, or have you tried that, or you were dead wrong in this area. And it forces me to learn, which is part of the point. So thank you for all your emails. I appreciate them. And I hope you enjoy this episode.
Coloring is so cathartic.
Mm-hmm. Is it?
Yeah.
It makes me anxious.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I think I have the same problem with knitting.
Oh, yeah. I can't knit.
Knitting. I can't do that kind of like
the meticulous.
It's the small space meticulous.
Yeah.
I can't, when I feel my whole body going, and then I get really stressed. So I don't like,
I agree.
Coloring's not for me.
What is this? I tried crocheting the other day.
Yeah.
Michael's was having a sale. They always have like a really good sale at Michael's.
They do always.
And you always have a 40% off coupon on your phone. I don't know if you knew that. If you download the app.
I do know that.
So they had a Golden Girls.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Are you a Golden Girls fan?
Love Golden Girls.
Are you serious?
Golden
we love
Lifetime was Golden Girls Nanny, Golden Girls Nanny, Unsolved Mysteries, Golden Girls Nanny.
How
that was
funny.
The nanny. Oh my
that
God.
was my
That's
favorite.
so funny because
Lifetime.
my generation was Brady Bunch, Flintstones, Brady Bunch, Flintstones, Brady Bunch. And you guys didn't probably watch Brady Bunch.
I did a little bit growing up. You know what? Actually, one of my cousins was the little cousin on the Brady Bunch who disappeared and you never heard from him again. Yeah, that was my cousin Jeff.
No way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She comes from kind of an entertainment family though. You have a lot of weird little speckled things like that,
But because my dad being an actor and stuff, and then
Right.
yeah,
And it's LA.
So funny.
and it's LA. Everybody,
Yeah.
yeah.
At some point, everybody knows everybody. And everybody. Yeah.
Interconnected.
Well, they sold this little, so it was like this kit and it was on sale and I couldn't pass it up. And they had 6 different patterns.
Ah.
But I've never tried to crochet before. So the first thing you're supposed to do is hold it up to the light and trace it.
Done. I'm done.
Done. There was this one had flamingos and they were and I
Oh
was
my
okay,
gosh.
done.
So did you get any further than the first step? No.
That's absolutely where I stopped.
Yeah, that's so funny. I know so many people color and for
I like coloring.
stress relief and whatever. I think I would be. I haven't actually tried it in a while, but I did color pretty recently with my kids. Yeah. And what happens is my to-do list just starts screaming at me in my brain.
Oh my God.
Why are you doing this? You should be you should be buying groceries. This is a waste of your time. And then I just start getting all gnarled.
Are you a list person? I love to-do lists and I love crossing things
100%.
off.
Are you kidding me?
I love it.
Of course I'm a list person.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it so much.
I'm a notebook person.
Me?
Yeah.
I Leanne,
You guys
live
are soulmates.
for fresh new notebooks.
Oh, it's
I
the best.
live for them.
Yeah.
That is so funny you say that. And I fill them up and I keep them.
Me
I don't
too.
like to throw them away.
I keep them too. I don't throw them away either.
There's nothing of importance in them. I just don't. I like to see them because sometimes I'll be like, what did I buy 3 years ago at the store? Like, what were we buying?
I do
then?
that too. I do the same
this.
thing. That's
I
so
love
funny.
this.
Yeah, I have notebooks. I have gotten so busy now that I kind of have compartmentalized my notebooks.
Yes.
Like I have one for my Girl Scout troop. I have one for Bert's business.
Yes.
I have one for my household personal kind of catch-all. And then I have one for my podcast. And I have one where I journal like my food because I've lost 12 pounds.
You look amazing.
What?
You look
Yes.
amazing.
Oh
Thank you,
my
thank
God.
Thank you.
Girl.
So I've been journaling
Celebrate.
my food. So I have all these different notebooks. And the negative about that is sometimes I'll be somewhere else and need a notebook I don't have. And then I'll end up putting, because I always have a notebook, and then I'll end up putting what I need for another notebook in the
Like
wrong
Girl
notebook.
Scouts
and
into
I'm, damn it.
yeah.
Same.
You do that too.
And I will start a lot and then forget where they are, and then I'll get a new one and start it. Yeah, I love this. I'm like all about sales today. Barnes and Noble always has, they're great,
They
like
do.
70% off section.
Yes.
They always have a ton of great notebooks.
And
I
they're
live-
great notebooks.
Great. I
Yeah.
live for a new notebook. It's the weirdest. I love them. I love them. Oh my
Does
God.
it make you feel like you accomplished something when you go through that to-do list and mark stuff off?
It is like the highlight of my life. Like literally there's nothing better than when I cross things off. Sometimes I'll even things I've already done, I'll write them on the list just so I can go ahead and cross it off.
I do that
just
too.
because
I
I
do that
like
too.
it.
I do that
It makes
too.
me feel very productive. I don't know.
I do feel very productive because
Yeah.
you look back at that list and go, damn, I got a lot done today.
Yes. And I love
That's a
it.
good point.
I love it so much. Yeah. I love lists.
If I don't put it on a list, I don't do it. 90% of the time.
That's interesting.
I just don't do it. I don't know why, but I forget a lot too. You'll figure this out when you get older. But
I'm already there. So
I have
I'm
now
fucked.
started, like I'll be driving because you drive so much in LA and I'll think,
Yes.
okay, I need to do A, B, C, and D, right? I will just call if something is with a person instead of going, when I get where I'm going, I'm going to text them. That's gone.
No.
It's completely
Oh, yeah.
over. So I've been like voicemailing people.
Yeah.
I'm leaving you a voicemail really for me.
Yes.
I need to talk to you about A, B, C, D.
Yes.
Call me back. And if I don't remember why I called you,
This is
it's
what.
on the voicemail.
Smart. Genius. Genius. Totally.
Not
genius.
to make it your responsibility to take care of my brain, but
Right.
at the end of the day,
Right.
I'm calling you for a reason. I have so many times people call back and I go, I have no idea why I called you.
Why did I call again?
Oh
That's
my God,
so
we do
funny.
that to each other all the
Oh,
time.
all
You
the
do?
time.
I'm like, I did have a reason, but let's talk shit for a minute, and then it'll come to me at some point. But yeah,
And does
Totally.
it? Does it come to you?
usually,
Sometimes.
or we'll hang up, and then like right after, I'm like, okay, wait, I just remembered. I just remembered. But yeah, I'm a fart in a blizzard compared to you two. I mean, you guys are very organized.
List
I'm
where it's
organized,
at.
but like in my own weird
Mhm.
ADD. But
like
I'm
the
with
messy
you.
organized.
If I need to have an idea of how my day's gonna go, or else it's not gonna get done. So I
Right.
just keep that in my mind. But you guys are organized. I should take a little page out of your notebook.
Which we would totally notice is gone.
Yeah.
Another thing I like lists for, and I don't know if you do this, is I think you've been recently doing this, is sometimes when I get overwhelmed,
Yeah.
things get so jumbled in my head that I'll start to feel way more overwhelmed than I should. Like
Yes.
I start to get anxiety. And so what I'll do is I'll write down a list of everything that's like wrong or that needs to be done or whatever. And when I look at the list, I'm like, oh, it's 4 things.
Yeah.
It's not like everything's wrong. It's not like everything's crashing in. It's like literally 4 things. Like
Yeah.
call the IRS, take care of that. Like it's one call. It's like, or like
Yeah.
whatever it is, like that seems so big. It's like, okay. And like I can just handle it this way. So seeing it on paper is very helpful for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oddly.
Yeah. I do that too. I also do that when I can't sleep at night. I run lists at night.
Oh yeah.
Like,
in my
we're
head.
remodeling this house and my brain, we're working on landscaping at the moment. And my brain's like, have I done this? Have I called the painter? Have I called and if I'll just wake up, turn on the light, write down everything I'm thinking about, I'll go right to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Clear of
Right
mind.
back to sleep, right?
Yeah.
If not, it just whirs. It'll keep me, I don't feel like I'm ever awake, but I'm definitely not asleep.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're
Oh,
in that
totally.
limbo
Totally.
place. So that helps
That's
me
a great
too.
idea.
I keep a little notepad
That's a great idea.
in my nightstand so that I can just go beep, 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 beep in the middle of the night.
Okay,
But-
well, you guys just sold me. I should start.
We've
I mean,
converted you.
I had like literally had to take a mental health day yesterday. I've never done that in
did?
15 years.
How come?
Because I had all this shit the night before in my head of like, you need to be doing this. You need to be doing. I am constantly like on the go. I can't sit still. I can't give myself a break. I'm constantly doing stuff. And like what you said when you're coloring, why am I doing this? I should be. I do that in different. Like if I'm sitting down for a minute, I'm like, no, what are you doing? Like you could be.
You don't have time.
This and this and this.
Yeah.
And so I think I just yesterday it all getting shitty sleep, you know, the night before, and then it all like crashed down, and I went to my mom's house, and she instantly is like, what is wrong? You know, like, I know my daughter, what is wrong? And I was like, I can't breathe. I think I'm having a panic. I think I've worked myself into a panic attack now.
Wow.
Because you're trying to be like, also, if you're in that state with your kid.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be like, everything's great. Want to hear the Lizzo song again? Mommy's got it. But inside, I'm like, oh my God, I can't breathe, you know? And so that's draining, giving every little ounce that you have like in the car. And so when I got to my mom's house, I'm like, I'm going to crumble. And she's like, you are not going to work today. You need to call and just reschedule your whole day. And I never do that. Like Rikki knows me. I never just. And
She's a
so
workhorse, for sure.
The fact that my mom said that to me, I'm like, you know what? You're right. And it's because I allowed all these stupid little things to build up when it's really not that big of a deal. Things will get done.
Right.
I'm not going to end up under a freeway, for God's sake. You know, like it's not, things will get done. I run my life, calm down. And so I just like took a day and like meditated. I was alone in my house.
Oh my God.
Do you even know what to do with yourself? Have
Well,
you
did
been
you hear the
alone
way
in
she
your
said,
house?
"Oh my
That's
God"?
why I'm like looking at her like
crazy.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do
feel
know what
like
you're talking about.
I went to Cabo for a week.
Yeah.
After just one day of being alone in my home.
Yeah.
You know, I got to read a book.
Yeah.
Right? Uninterrupted. Yep.
What? And meditate. I took a bath at like
Amazing.
4 p.m.
Where was your son? With your mom?
Oh, in the car.
Oh.
Fine. He was in the garage. Yeah, my mom took my son. She's like, let me keep him. My mom doesn't work and she's so wonderful.
Yeah.
So like, she's like,
That's
let me
great.
keep him for the night. You just do your thing. And then I put on Sex in the City for 5 hours and wore a face mask. I'm like, I am the most basic bitch. And I love it right now. I'm so happy.
I love that too.
I loved it.
That's a great mental health day.
Oh, I feel like a new person.
Yeah.
We all need to like, but the list would have helped. You know what I mean? Like I should start a notebook to just have that clear of mind instead of your mind kind of
keeping it in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just disorganized.
Even if it's just a dump.
Yeah.
Just dump it.
Yeah.
You don't have to have
you're
one
right.
for every
Brain dumps
subject
help a
matter.
lot. Yeah.
I do. But I mean, I have one for everything.
Where's the Girl Scout notebook?
I know, right? And it's all color coordinated because Girl Scouts is green.
Oh my
So
God.
I have a green
Is it
notebook.
really?
Yes.
I
Okay.
love it.
I'm
Yes.
not as, but like I like that. And my mind's like, maybe we should start getting
Step
into
it up.
color
Oh, I
coordination.
color coordinate everything. Calendars, color coordinated. Notebooks, color coordinated.
Do you have
I am
OCD
more
a little,
organized.
do you think?
I don't think I have
Not
OCD.
negatively, just like-
No, I don't think I have OCD. But I do think I have been managing my life since age 4. So I
Interesting.
think that I don't know how. It makes me very uncomfortable to not do that.
Yeah.
But I definitely am not like the corners on the sheets have to be perfect. I'm not like that.
No.
I just have to. I've always been in charge, so I don't know how to not be in charge. And
Yeah.
for me to be in charge of so many different like spinning plates, this is how I have to manage it. You know? I feel like I was a project manager at age 4. Age 4,
That's so interesting.
you know.
and is
That's
that just,
really
was that
interesting.
in you aside from
I don't think so.
environmental?
No, I
Was it
don't
more
think so.
like product of environment?
I think it was survival.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Yeah.
going to say. Like
Yeah.
it was a survival. Like
Yeah.
that's
Because
very
it ain't in
interesting.
either of my kids.
Yeah.
So
That's because they have you. They're like, Mom's
Yeah.
got it. She color
Yeah.
coordinated everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know. There's definitely not instinctual in either of them. So, and you know, I guess my dad is highly organized, really organized.
Oh, okay.
So like, you know, he's a mechanic. If you open his toolbox, there's like an outline of the tool that goes in that
Stop.
place.
I actually love seeing that.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Like in
That
a
gives
garage,
me
like a
anxiety, though.
perfect-
What's that?
The outline gives me anxiety. Like that
That
kind
does?
of stuff. Yes. 'Cause
Why?
I don't know. Cause I think I'd sit there like lining it up in the like it would, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, see, he doesn't care about that. He just
Just-
wants you to know the wrench goes here.
Mhm.
You don't have to get it in the lines.
Yes.
You just got to lay it right here.
Yeah.
So that he's one of those that like, if everything has a place, then you know where it is and you don't spend your day looking for it. So make a place for it. And then you know the wrench is here. And if the wrench is not here, then it's not put up. It's in use somewhere or
Yeah.
right.
if I've
Good logic.
lost it.
Yeah,
He's
I like
really
it.
great like that. Same with his closet. His closet was always like short sleeve button downs, long sleeve button downs, short sleeve pullover, long sleeve pullover.
wow.
I love
And-
looking at a closet like that.
I know, right?
Once a year, I try to do that and then slowly kind of,
How long does it last?
I don't know. It's just like a slow, gradual thing
Mhm.
where finally I'm like, got to get back to it. But I certainly don't keep it.
That way,
But
all
doesn't
the
it look
time.
so good when
looks
you
so
do
nice.
see that?
Yes, it looks.
I
so
do mine by
nice.
color.
Do you?
That's what I do. I
Yeah.
do by color.
I do it by color.
And then I do like skirts, dresses.
Yeah, I do that too. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how
I
do
organize
it.
within the color.
Yeah. Yeah. So
That's
it's like
smart.
Forever 21, basically,
Yes!
is how we do it. You know?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I want one of those closet companies to come. You know that
Yeah.
do like the
Yes.
whole. Oh, that would be so nice.
Yeah. But then I'm like, I mean, what are you going to find in my closet? I don't even know.
I don't know. What
I
would you
know.
find in your
I
closet?
don't know. I have to go through it.
There's a lot of weed in our closet.
Yeah. There's definitely weed in my closet.
Yeah.
In like a jar too, like a hillbilly.
Yeah.
You know? Like I've got.
We got some hillbilly weed.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that shit
Yeah.
because it's.
I just
Oh, there's
grew
some
some.
all in here. Where is it? Right there. See that hillbilly weed in that
Oh,
jar?
that's what I have in my closet. Yes.
That's what mine looks like.
Yeah.
But I love it because I don't have panic attacks with that. Like I can still clean my
Oh,
house.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I don't like the like Alaskan thunder fuck. Like it's so aggressive. You know, like
Yeah.
just give me
Weed's
Mexican
so different
swag.
now
Yeah.
than like it was when we were. I just grew my first 2 plants. I've never grown before.
Yeah.
It was a labor of love. It was
Yeah.
a lot of work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we kind of like started 2 weeks early, so they didn't get that big. And it definitely is like swaggy. Like it's not like quality weed, but
That's
I'm
what I
proud of
like.
it.
Yeah.
You know, and we put it in like little mason jars and like did the whole thing, and it looks just like that. It's just very like, you know, it's like I don't know. I mean,
I love it because I don't have panic attacks. I feel like if you get too high, I'm like, I can't do edibles. I don't know
No.
if you guys can do that. I can't do edibles.
I can't do any of it. I've
No?
smoked weed 4 times in my life, and all 4 times I threw up.
Really?
Really?
I don't think it likes my body.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Bert smokes weed from time to time, and he had 6 weed plants. He got in a
Ooh.
competition with 3 of his friends. He bought 3 of his friends 2 or 4 weed plants each. I can't remember. And said, at the end of however many months, we're going to see who has the best weed. So they all grew
Just in the backyard?
Just in the
Like,
backyard.
Okay.
because legally you can grow 6 plants.
Yeah.
oh,
So
okay.
2 friends, they just died. They didn't make it. They were out of the competition. One of them left the
It's
country
like the
for
Oregon
work,
Trail.
and then the other one was like, "Yeah, it's not in my bandwidth."
Yeah.
The other one, his plants were gorgeous, and he did nothing to them. He
How does
put
that
them
happen?
outside and did nothing. And then Bert was like a labor of love. It
Yeah.
was
Oh,
awful. We
Yeah,
had a
really.
grow light in our garage.
yeah.
I was walking over these pot plants for like 6 or 8 months.
Mhm.
I was cursing them. I
Yeah.
hated them.
Yeah. How much was your electricity bill at the grow light? Because I considered, but I've heard it's so expensive
It
to have a
was
light going.
ridiculous.
It's
It
so
was
stupid.
ridiculous.
And you're like, for this?
Who won? The front?
I don't know who won. I don't know if they.
I hope you
know
guys
who
won
Yeah, me
after
too.
that.
The friend was able to harvest more
Yeah.
from his 4 plants than we harvested from our 6. So I'd say he's probably the winner, but Bert would definitely disagree with that.
Well, also quality. We gotta, you know.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I
and
don't
who's
know.
judging this?
Yeah.
I wonder like if the friend lived somewhere where the soil or the water was different.
He did it in a
Yeah.
pot in Sherman Oaks.
Huh.
Hmm.
So I don't
Interesting.
know. He literally put them in like, we kept them in like the plastic pots. He
Mhm.
put them in a legit like terracotta pot and put
Huh.
it in the yard
Huh.
and just watered it when he thought about them. I mean,
That's
it was the only thing he
insane.
did do was prune them. Like when they started getting
Mhm.
looking
Yeah.
funky, he'd
Yeah.
prune them. And Bert never pruned his.
Yeah.
And so that's the only thing they did different.
It is. I don't know if you've seen Murder Mountain on
No.
Netflix. It's very interesting. It's about the people that grow weed in Humboldt. And I was always under the impression like, oh, like people growing weed, like they're like, you know, happy stoner. No, it's like
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, just substitute weed with cocaine. Like it's a dangerous thing. Like people get killed up there.
No
like it's a
way.
huge money. It was
Yeah.
so interesting, Leanne. It's a huge
Murder
money
Mountain?
maker. Yeah, it's drugs. And so you're watching these people and it's such a labor of like I understand now why. I mean, it's probably less now, but like it costs money. Like these people like you're pouring your heart and soul into it. And just with my 2 little lame plants outside, I was like devastated if like, you know, because like the bugs would come eat them. It was like, you know, the sun would be too hot and like they'd will. It was just like a constant, you know, so I have empathy for weed farmers.
Murder Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have empathy
right.
for why
Murder
people go
Murder 'em.
missing.
You know
Yes.
what? You deserve it.
The
Yeah.
weed hillbillies. The
Yeah.
weed
The
hillbillies
weed
up
hillbillies.
north. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was an experience. I'd rather not do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have the time. I like to smoke it.
Yeah,
I'll smoke it. I don't.
How's your work?
Work's good.
Yeah.
Work is good. Yeah. I don't know. I'm getting old though. I mean, I've been doing it for.
You're getting old.
When I say that, I mean like I've been doing it for like 15 years.
That's a
Like,
long
My
time.
fucking body hurts. Like
Yeah.
body is starting to hurt. So I try to take care of myself, but I'm starting to like, oh, that's a new ache. Oh, that's a new. Oh, I have my assistant doing a lot more these days.
Right.
But it's good. I mean, I love doing hair.
Yeah.
I just think I want to start doing like more house calls on my days off because I do like 3 long days.
Okay.
I just try to bust it out because I want to be with my kid for the other days.
4 days. Yeah,
He's about
that's
to go
great.
to school soon, and so I just kind of feel like
How old is he?
holding on to that. He's 2.5.
Oh my God.
It's really cute.
So pretty soon here, I should put him in.
Adorable.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
That-
And I'm obsessed with him. So I want to spend time. I'm actually having so much fun with him that I'm like, I just want to eat that up as much as I can.
Yeah.
But
That's a great age. I have a 2.5-year-old nephew. And every time he comes over, I'm like,
Do you miss it?
And then when he leaves, I go, thank you.
I know.
I don't want that.
Yes. It's fucking draining.
It's exhausting.
It really
it's a lot
is.
of work, but
Yeah.
it's so fun.
It is.
And I was just saying this to Georgia yesterday when I picked her up from softball. I was like, I'd like 4-year-old Georgia for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Can we just have you back to 4? Because
What was she like?
Oh my God. She had the biggest cheeks. Like, I don't even know how her neck held her head up. Her cheeks were so big.
I love that.
They're like, we used to call them jowls. She was like jowly. And she had these big blue eyes. And I think when she started speaking at like 2, she just started speaking in full sentences. She was a very articulate young lady.
Wow.
So at 4, I could have a conversation like I'm talking to you with her. But she loved to read. She would sit with me and read for as long as I would read. And she snuggled hard. She just wanted love. And, the other one was the Tasmanian devil.
Yeah.
But Georgia was like, she was just a love bug. And sometimes I feel like because her sister was the Tasmanian devil, I didn't get to give her enough of what she needed because I had another younger kid that was pretty much unconsciously trying to kill herself at all times, like jumping off furniture or
Needed a
eating
leash.
things out of the garbage, or she
like
was
your new dog.
like my new dog. Exactly. She's maybe
hold her
they're
down?
the same.
Oh my God.
Priscilla is like Georgia.
That is so crazy.
That's
We just made a huge.
crazy. I did. You did that. Good job.
I get the MVP ball for
You
the
do,
show. I think.
for
Circling
sure.
that. Throw it over here.
That's exactly. Wait till I tell Bert that.
I think you should have held her back down though with the submission
Maybe.
thing that you're trying. That's probably where
I tried it with
went
Isla a lot.
No.
I actually spanked Isla, and
Uh-huh.
I swore I would never spank. But I got to a point with her. She was 4 years old, and we had gone to, my dad has a lake house that he owns with his 3 siblings. And his 2 sisters are like school teacher, nurse, and they worked really hard to buy this house together. They're all, blue collar, really not huge high earning families. So this house was a big deal.
Yeah.
And they went to like nice furniture store and bought a couch, and they were so excited. Right? I was 4, and she's jumping on the couch, and I'm going, Isla, get off the couch. And I'm across the room doing something with Georgia, so I can't like physically get to her really quickly. So I'm saying, Isla, hey, Isla, off the couch. Isla, off the couch. And she goes, and spits on the couch in front of my 2 aunts who own this couch. And I was like, okay, I got to spank her. I got to spank her. I have no choice. I now have to spank you.
Yes.
And I said to her, now I have to spank you.
Why are you making me do this
Right?
to you?
Exactly.
You're an embarrassment to the family.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
But it was so bad. I was like, I have no currency. She just
No,
freaking hawked a loogie
You know what?
on a couch.
I can. First of all, I want to hang out with her.
Yeah, me too.
She sounds like a good
No
time,
fucks.
but it's
No
not
fucks,
cool
yeah.
if it's your couch.
Yeah.
It was not good in front of both of my aunts. And I was like, oh my God.
And that's when you're like mortified because you think as a parent, people are like, what are they doing in that household?
That
You
and
know?
what are you going to do about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about that? They're watching
Rub it in
me.
her face.
It's like a
Exactly.
school year.
like a dog. Submit. Right. So I took her in the bedroom and I said,
I'm going to pretend to spank you. I'm going to hit the wall.
no, right? No, I spanked her. I said, I really do not know what to do at this point. That was so unacceptable. I have no choice but to spank you.
Yeah.
And
then
I
we're gonna sell
spanked
you.
her, and she cried. And I said, "Get yourself together and come outside." And I was like, "What have I done? What have I done that has a child that hawks a loogie on a couch, that's not listening to me when I say stop? I have lost total control of this human." It sounds exactly like my dog.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as my dog. But yeah, and Georgia is the one I think it actually damaged. Because Georgia was like, Mom, just as soon as Bert was out of town and was meeting us at the lake house, as soon as he showed up, Isla was like, George was like, Mom spanked Isla. Mom spanked Isla. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah. You
Oh
little
my
rat.
God. So now I'm going to have to get like verbally undressed by my husband for
Yes.
spanking
Yes.
without his consultation, or because we swore we'd never spank.
Yeah.
You know, we're not, that's the
Yeah.
one thing we're not doing. And I explained the situation to him and he was like, okay, I see your reasoning.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I wouldn't have made that choice myself, but I see your reasoning is what he said.
Well, and also you lose it because you're just a person too.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're like, no,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not, you
Yeah.
do this, and
Yeah.
then immediately I've done that where I'm like, okay, stop it. After like,
Right.
babe, let's calm down.
Yeah.
Hey, and then it's like, stop it. And instantly you're like, fuck, am I that parent? I don't want to be that parent. Did I just raise my voice or did I just do that? But like in the moment, you're just trying to fucking figure
Yeah.
it out. And
Yeah. You're only human.
yeah, and when there's witnesses, you got to beat
Yeah.
your kid in front of
Yeah,
people
you
to see like who's
You gotta-
wearing the pants in the family.
I'm thinking when she's an adult and has her first little place and buys herself a nice little couch from IKEA, you come in and you just go ahead. And you pay her back.
That's a good idea.
Remember the lake house?
right?
What year would that be? 2003 or whatever.
Right. Maybe I'll invite Aunt Carol over. She's
Oh,
on Aunt Carol's couch. And she
Everyone take
at
a- she can take
75
she can take a shit on the couch.
right? Sit with her diaper on the couch.
Yeah.
Eat an ice cream cone. You couldn't even eat an ice cream cone on this couch. Like you couldn't eat food on the couch. They were like, the couch was like supreme.
Wait, so were you like sitting there scrubbing off the spit? Like,
Yes.
oh my God.
After I spanked her,
Yeah,
I cleaned
totally.
off the spit. I could not believe. I was
Oh
like,
my.
I actually had an outer body experience.
Oh,
I think.
I
When
can't
I
imagine.
saw her do that, I was
like a feral child.
like a feral. She was a feral child. She was. That girl, we put baby gates up and she figured out how to wrap her big toe and second toe
Oh
around
my
and she could
God.
shinny up
No.
and over
No.
a baby gate at 10 months old.
No.
What? She started walking at 9.5 months.
Oh
and
my God.
2 weeks later, she was climbing.
Oh my
What?
God.
She figured out how to
Wow.
get on my kitchen countertop at 10 months old.
This kid needs to be like a cat burglar or something.
was
Like, this is insane.
What did you do? Like, were you just tired?
I was so stressed out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was so stressed out. And I had like this, for Georgia, I had this kind of freestanding corral. So like if I was cooking dinner,
Yeah,
I'd put her in this
yeah,
corral.
yeah.
It was like a huge playpen, but
Yeah.
not. It was
Yeah.
just a big corral. And I'd put all her toys in there. And
Right.
sometimes I'd put baby Einstein on.
Yeah.
Fine. Isla never watched TV of any kind ever. She didn't care about it.
Ugh.
If I put her in that corral, until she could walk, she would scream until
Ugh.
I took her out. And then once she could walk, she'd just climb out of it.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you had Georgia first.
Yeah.
I would never have had another one. I would never have had a second one.
Isn't it weird though that you know the personalities just like you're born with like a certain
100%.
way about you, and it's
Yeah.
so funny how you get completely
You get what you get.
opposite kids,
Right?
Yeah.
Like you get what, like, I feel like there's so much like, and we did this forever before she had a kid and I still don't. When we have kids, we're going to do this and this
Oh,
and this.
yeah,
and then you
hilarious.
get what you get and you just figure out how to work around that.
That's
you know?
right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's, I think that's where like, and this is like no disrespect to my own parents, but, and maybe this is just a generational thing, but I don't think 80s parents thought that way. I thought it was like, you are who I say you're going to be.
Oh, it's 70s parents
Things
too. Yeah,
Things have
you're right.
changed. Yeah,
things
things have
and
evolved.
I'm really glad for that because we're not, and I know this is a little bit like granola-y, and I know not everyone believes this, but we're a vessel that a soul comes through.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I
your
believe
children
that.
don't belong to you.
No,
You
they
brought them here, it's your job to keep them safe and to like get them to where they're going, essentially. So they are who they are. And I think basic right and wrong, obviously we don't spit on a couch, you know, stuff like that. But who they are is who they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's crazy to see that even as like a small, like 6 months, you know, once they start to like wake up a little bit, whatever, you already kind of see that like soul and spirit. Like remember Zephyr could not, he's real, not mellow, but like he listens to me and he's good. He was never the kid. He'll pick stuff up and hand it to you. Yeah. He's a pretty good kid.
Right.
But he hates to be not part of the party. No. Like he has to be part of it. Even as a kid, when my friends, as a newborn, when my friends would come over, I would have him in his little swing chair and I kind of put him off into the corner thinking he'll probably want to fall asleep, whatever. He would scream and cry unless he was in the circle of my girlfriend.
Funny.
And then he was fine. He was just like, okay, well now I'm good.
That's amazing.
And he was fine. Yeah.
He's a really old soul too.
Oh my God. And I meant to tell you this. I haven't told you this, but okay. Speaking of Isla and like being a feral child, my son Zephyr, he's like I said, pretty good. And he's never tried to escape from his crib. And we were talking about it last week and I was like, I mean, he's really smart, but maybe he's not that smart. Cause I mean, at 2, I figured out how to do it, you know, myself. And so we're kind of laughing like, hasn't figured it out yet. I'm so lucky, blah, blah, blah. Well, no joke, 2 days later, he's taking a nap and he took a really long nap. And I'm like, I kind of kept checking in on the monitor, but I'm doing stuff around the house. Finally, I hear like this thud after like 2 hours, or not a thud like he fell, but I heard, no, I heard mommy. And then like a kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, I run upstairs. I go to open the door and I'm stopped by him.
What?
He had gotten out of his crib, took off all his clothes, took off his diaper.
Wow.
Somehow found a way to get out of the crib without hurting himself. And he was trying to open the door. He just looked like a streaker. Like,
how funny.
And so I was like, what? This is my fucking karma for saying anything.
Yeah.
And so I opened the door and I'm like, hey, how'd you get out of your crib? And so I kind of tried to spin it like, that is, wow, so impressive. Can you show mommy how you did that? And I'm like trying to put it back in the crib, like, show mommy how cool, what a cool thing you did. And he was like, no, like, no, I won't.
He wouldn't show you?
No, he would not show me.
Oh my God.
I don't even know how he got his fucking clothes off. He's never.
It's funny that's like one taste of freedom. And he's like, let's get these clothes off right away.
You know what? Maybe if I take these off, you know, for aerodynamic purposes, just slide over. But it was literally 2 days after I talked about it.
Has he done it again?
Fuck. No, because I'm on like high alert all the time. I feel like I got to get those little knobs. What did you do?
Yeah.
With your.
We were talking about that.
Oh my
So
God.
what did you do with your daughter when you're transitioning?
Like when they're in a bed
I don't know what
and they
to
can
do.
just get up and go. This is what we were talking about on our podcast was like, how do you sleep through the night knowing that they can just get up and meander around?
I didn't sleep through the night. I didn't.
Horrible.
Georgia was great. Georgia got in her big girl bed, and I never had an issue with her. If she needed something, she would call my name. So I would hear it on the monitor.
Yeah.
She never got out of bed.
Okay.
Isla, the feral child, was a completely different story. She started getting out of her crib at 18 months. And
I don't even know.
we had a loft. We had an apartment that was a 1-bedroom with a loft. And Bert and I and Isla's crib were in the loft. Remember, she's been shinnying up the baby gate since she was 10 months old.
Right.
So as soon as she got out of the crib at 18 months old, she had to go in the bedroom with Georgia.
Okay.
For 3 months, she got out of bed every single minute, not joking. As soon as I would get back to the living room, she'd be back in the living room with me for 3 hours every day for 3.5 months.
And what would you do? Like, would you say like, hey, we got to get you back into bed? And she would just follow you back out.
She wouldn't follow me back out. I would take her by the hand and go, no, it's bedtime. Got to stay in the bed. No, it's bedtime. Got to stay in the bed. And every time she'd come out with this big old shit-eating grin, like, party time, time to party. What's going on in here? And I'm like, no. At a certain, probably about a month in, I would start crying at like 6 o'clock. Because I
don't
go,
blame you.
I almost had a PTSD because I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God,
Yes.
from 7 to 11, I'm just going to be walking this child back to bed and she's not going to get enough sleep. And she dropped her nap, so she wasn't napping.
Oh my God.
And I was like, and I was working. So I just had no, it was terrible.
Oh.
So the problem was she had to share a room with Georgia. So I couldn't do, like, we had friends that were like, just lock her in the room. But I'm like, but what do you do with Georgia? That's going to traumatize her. Georgia was such a soft, tender soul, still is. I was like, I can't do that to her. Do we move her to the loft and then she hears her sister from afar tearing her room apart?
Yeah.
I can't do that. So, I mean, I was like, I can't damage this poor little sweet.
Put her in the garage.
Yeah, right? Something. Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have just left her in the car.
That's fine.
So I just wore her down. I just knew at a certain point, I was like, if I lose this battle, I have won the war. If I lose this battle, I will have lost the war.
Yeah.
I have got to win this battle.
Yeah.
So I've just got to outlast her. And at at 3.5 months, it stopped.
Oh my
And
God.
she
Thank God.
stayed
So
in
you
the
would just
bed.
like wear her out. Like, would you just make sure she got some energy out before it was bedtime? Or
I
like
tried to do that,
Uh-huh.
but she still, literally, it was like 3 hours a night.
You should have done some
man.
sleeping pills, a little
Yeah.
Lunesta.
Benadryl?
Yeah.
Like a Benadryl.
Yeah.
Little Benadryl.
I can't
Little,
say that I wouldn't have given a Benadryl. Like, I know that's terrible, but
No,
I'm
it's
like,
not that terrible.
you
I
have
just
to
never
rest.
thought of it.
Yeah.
I needed the rest. I didn't come up
Well,
with
that's
that.
what I mean.
wasn't
I mean,
that
when
smart.
you're like at the point of how did I get here driving, it's
Yeah.
because you're so tired.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
like,
amazing
fuck.
the things that happen when you have a kid that people can tell you will happen, but you don't understand until you're in it.
Yes.
Right.
Or people don't tell you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Did you find that?
Oh yeah, the most annoying, not the most, but one of the annoying things that I found was, you know, once I had him and he was a newborn, people were like, first 3 months is a nightmare, but after that, you're gonna love it. I'd get there, it's not until 6 months, but trust me, after that, it's so much better. It seemed like everyone was saying, you know,
Adding 3 months.
after a year, I'm like, can everyone just
18,
stop
it'll be
giving me a time frame because I think it's gonna
Yeah.
get better and it's not, and I'm tired, and
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
stop.
And every baby's different. That's the problem.
Yes.
Is that I have friends who had babies who were like floated in on a cloud and just stayed on that cloud until they were 6.
Fuck those people.
And I fuck those people is right
Seriously.
because I was like,
what the hell?
Georgia was a nightmare sleeper until she was 22 months old.
Oh my god.
And then she started sleeping. And then at 25 months old, I had Isla. So I
Oh,
had
God.
3 months of
To
sleeping.
sleep.
And then
How did you
Isla,
not go crazy.
on top of her not going to bed at night, between 2 and 3, she would get up and just go start playing in the living room
2 and 3 a.m.
in the morning. So I would
that's
have
the-
to sleep like one eye
Oh,
open.
you poor thing.
And then,
Are you
because she
still
didn't
kind of
make any
tired?
noise.
To this day, are you still? I'm not
I
joking.
have to tell you something. She slept through the night. She started sleeping through the night consistently at 4.5.
Jesus.
My boat didn't right itself until she went into kindergarten.
Wow.
Yeah.
It took like 6
Ugh.
months. It changed who
Oh, I
I
bet.
was.
Oh, I
I
bet.
I was a miserable, unhappy person because I'd really had 6 years because
Yeah.
I had 2 years with Georgia
Yeah.
and then 4.5 years with Isla
Yeah.
of no consistent
sleep.
sleep. The first time Bert and I went away was right after Isla turned 1. I breastfed for 1 year and then I
Uh-huh.
was like, "You're done.
Uh-huh.
I give myself back.
Yeah.
You got your 12
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
Done." He
Evicted.
took me to La Quinta and I loved it.
Yes, in
Right?
Palm Desert. Yeah.
So great. The first night I slept 18 hours.
Oh.
The second night I slept 12. And he was like, "What?
Yeah.
Like I brought you out here and now we're going home." We were there for Friday, Saturday.
It's a great
I slept
trip.
18 hours and 12 hours.
Oh.
And he was like, I basically was by myself.
How was the vacation, Bert?
Yeah.
I love it.
We got a massage in the middle of that. So
You
we
were
did
asleep, yeah.
nothing. And he was like, he kept calling his mom going, "She's still asleep. Should I wake her up?" And his mom was like, "Don't wake her up.
No,
She's
they needed it.
hasn't slept for a year."
Oh my god! You think
Live
the housekeepers are like, this bitch is on something? You guys, 12C is something's going on there. I think it's
Do
an
not
opium den.
disturb. Do not disturb.
Yeah.
That is.
They-
I mean, that shows you how fucking
Yeah.
tired you
You
are.
needed
I was
it
so
bad.
yeah.
tired. I was so tired. And then when I got back, I was back into not sleeping, getting up between 2 and 3 because that's when she got up to play. And then she was up at 5 for the day. You know, it's not
Oh,
like she
my
then slept till
God.
8.
You should have
No.
stayed at La
I feel like
Quinta.
if you took
I know,
off and
right?
like left your family, they would know where to find you. It's like,
Yeah.
I bet I know where she is.
Call me if you need something, okay?
Yeah, send her away, get her trained till she's about 7, bring her back, and then you're ready. But fuck, it's so hard.
It's really hard. And I think it's really hard too because you're so tired,
Mhm.
it's really hard to win the battles. Sometimes you go, "Oh, just fucking eat the
Yeah,
8th ice
have
cream
it.
I
cone.
do-
I don't give a shit."
That's totally. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. There's some days that you're
You're
like,
just too
I just
tired.
can't.
I can't. I'm
Fine.
done.
Fucking wear your pajamas today. I don't even care.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's
it's whatever.
okay sometimes.
Yeah,
But
sometimes.
sometimes you know you have to win that battle and you
Mhm.
just don't have it in you.
No.
And you got to find it somehow.
Mhm.
Because you know, at least with Isla, I didn't really have to do that with Georgia. Georgia
Sounds like Georgia's a real Georgia peach, really.
She's a pretty
Oh.
brilliant young lady.
How is
And
she now? Like, so.
She's very teenagery now in some ways. Like she's very secretive
Mm.
and very private. She does not want me in her business at all. And that's really
Sounds about
normal.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, totally.
She's 15 and a half.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
she's,
totally.
So, but I don't really know what to do with that Georgia. She's always been a big open book.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I don't need to know her business, but now I have a harder time connecting with her
Yeah.
because
can
I don't
imagine.
know.
Like, what's off limits? What are you allowed to ask?
Yes.
What are you? What's meddling? Like, what's you know
Yeah.
and she
That's
thinks
interesting.
that I am like, oh, so stupid.
the lamest?
not
Yeah.
not stupid,
Yeah.
brain
Yeah.
stupid, but
Just like
like
lame.
Yeah,
lame.
You don't get it.
And I'm too loud. I'm too.
They're so embarrassing in
Embarrassing.
every aspect.
Intimidated.
Yeah.
I don't wear enough makeup. I wear too much makeup. You know,
Oh,
I
God.
can't do anything right.
No.
I'm at the softball field for hours on end.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
completely, it's as if I'm not there.
Yeah. Oh.
And then I'll catch her looking at me from the side of her. And I'm like, she totally needs me
It's
here.
still so
Yes,
important
they
that you're
want-
there because if
yeah.
you weren't, it would like wreck her.
Mhm.
I
Totally.
laugh about this with Christian all the time because like I think we're so cool and I'm like we're literally going to be someone's nightmare one day. Like they're going to be so embarrassed of us.
I can't
I
wait
think
to
it's
play
so-
on that, though.
Me too. I cannot wait.
Oh, it's the best.
My dad, when I was like 14, I had moved to where we live now, like out in, and someone had invited me. Like there was at the promenade is where everyone hung out on Friday
Oh,
nights,
my
right?
goodness.
Stop.
And it was like the cool girls invited me. So my dad drove a van at the time, and it's the same deal. Drop me off behind the corner. I want to look like an orphan. Like you are not to be seen. When you pick me up at 10, we're coming back here. Do not pick me up in front of Barnes and
Oh
Noble.
my
Do not,
God.
right? It's a whole thing. And like, also give me money. And like, fuck you. You know? Teenagers are such assholes.
Oh, they're the worst.
And so I'm hanging with my friends. I'm skipping along. My dad hid behind
No.
a pillar
No.
at Barnes
No.
and Noble.
He
and he had his
did not.
No.
royal blue hot pant because he played softball. And he still plays softball. But he just put on his sliding shorts that were like
No.
literally like Daisy Dukes,
No.
but like
Stop.
like a
can't.
polyester royal blue, and had his jacket and his van already started like in the parking lot. And he was like, "Hey,
No.
are these your friends?
Oh,
Do you guys
no.
want to ride?" Oh,
No.
I'm horrified.
I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed, and I could feel he was like, what? Like playing dumb? But I'm like, he is smart. He knows exactly
Yeah,
what
he
he
knows
was
exactly
doing.
what
He
he's
was
doing.
Totally. I can't wait to do that though.
Yeah.
My mom embarrassed the shit out of me, Leanne. She was so bad. Like she would do drive-bys. And
Oh, yeah.
my mom and her
Mhm.
mom were good friends just because we were best friends. And we, wherever we said we were going to be, which we never lied, we were always there. She would
Sometimes.
drive by and see. And the first time I was like 11. So that's even worse, I think, than a teenager. Cause like, it was like I feel like you're just starting to like, I don't know, but it was like my first school dance and it was a Halloween dance. And I told my mom, you are not fucking allowed to come to the, and again, what's going to happen when you're 11? Like nothing.
At a school dance.
Yeah, like I'd rather like I would justify the drive-bys as a teenager more than I'm like 11. What do
Yeah,
you think?
you're
Like,
not doing
I'm
anything
sucking
at
guys
11.
off? Like what's going? I'm 11,
Right?
dude. Like,
Now,
I'm like, you are not coming to this dance. And she's like, but I want to chaperone, and I'm like, no. So it's a Halloween dance, and I'm having a grand old time. I'm dancing, and I walk up to get a drink, and I notice this ghost is wearing some very familiar shoes.
shut up. Are you kidding me? She came dressed as a
This
ghost.
bitch took a sheet.
Shut up.
A
Oh
sheet
my God.
and cut 2 holes in it. Couldn't even have the class to go to a Halloween store
Oh my God.
and bought a sheet, cut 2 holes, and she crashed. And I was like, Mom, is that you? And she was like this in her sheet. And I'm like, I didn't even know what to say. I was like,
That's really funny. That's
Is it?
really funny.
Hilarious.
It's
I'm scarred.
hilarious now
I'm
because I
scarred.
could imagine.
Oh, back then
You
you
were
like
dying.
seething.
I was dying.
Yes, you were
Seething.
just dying.
How did she get in there though? I'm worried about that.
How did she get
for
in?
all I
That's
know,
a little
she's
worrisome.
Child predator with a sheep. Like,
Totally. Like,
Uneven eyes cut like
I would be,
this.
I
right?
would be a little concerned about the school system there.
God. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
That's
I can
really. You
imagine.
think you'll do that when you have a kid? Are you gonna have a kid?
Okay, so that's something. It's so interesting. That's what we're talking about today. I don't know. So, it's funny, and her and I were talking about this in preparation for today. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like we're in this age right now of social media, and there's an overabundance of information, more information than you want or need constantly,
I
right?
agree with that. Mhm.
And there's been so many things, just having like casual conversations with my mom where I'm like, oh, but this sounds so terrible, or this. And she's like, God, Rikki, in the 80s, like we just had kids and dealt with it. People weren't talking about it. We just like, you just did it and dealt with it. But now it's like every mom has a blog and everyone's in their yoga pants and, with the dried milk on them. And there's, exhausted and their kids are that. And like, to be honest with you, Leanne, I know this is terrible. And I feel like everyone's miserable with children. Like I really do. And
It's
also
hard.
It's
lot.
really hard.
I watch so many relationships like have tension and like a lot of them break under the tension. Not, I just think when you have kids, like there's other things before that you could have ignored
Right.
that you can't really ignore once you have kids.
Right.
Yeah,
So I've
definitely
watched-
puts a microscope. I
Yeah.
would say on like
You can deal with the sink full of dishes with
Yeah.
no kids, 2 hours of sleep, and a bottle needs to be made, and there's no clean bottles because your partner didn't help clean the dishes, and that's like a fucking
Yeah.
like a war.
because you're so tired that just
Yes,
breaks
it's
you.
a war. And like my husband and I, he is my best friend. We live like a good life. We vacation and we sleep in and there's part of me that I'm like, I am so afraid that if we add a kid to this mix, and my husband's like definitely like the breadwinner, like he runs the company and he works really hard and he's so generous and he gives us this really nice life. But that means also that I'm responsible primarily like for everything at home. And I'm
Right.
like, is all this going to get dumped on me? And am I going to resent the shit out of you? So I'm like very on the fence right now. I'm not
Yeah.
really sure.
That's very wise to
Mhm.
think about it before you jump into it too.
Yeah.
It's very wise to look at like what's this reality?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people just look at the dream. It's
Yes.
a dream to have children. I want to have
Yes.
children with this man that I'm in love
Right.
with or
Yes.
woman. And there's just so much more to it than the dream. And there's a lot of positive. There's so much positive now.
Tell me some of that. I want some of the positive.
Okay, I'll tell you some of that. I learned so much about myself from having my children. For one, Isla is me had I had a healthy parent.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a mom who, in my opinion, has some real serious mental issues. My parents divorced when I was young, and my dad was very upset by this divorce. So at they started splitting up at around 4 years old for me, and at 7 they were divorced.
Okay.
So that shifted who I was.
Totally.
And so, and from living with my mom, because I had to live with her till I was 13, that caused a lot of damage. So I watch Isla be this free soul that I never got to be. And then I go, oh, that's actually who I was. That's where I started. This
Right,
is
the
the
shift.
foundation I've built
Okay.
all this other stuff on top of. And it's made me a lot freer as
Right.
a person. It's made me love myself in a different way.
Wow.
And it's made me understand myself a lot more deeply. It's done the
Wow.
same thing for me with Bert. Bert has OCD, like diagnosed. He has an anxiety disorder. And OCD actually is under an anxiety disorder umbrella,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all
Well,
kind
it's
of
control.
Yeah.
It's keeping yourself safe.
yes. It's they're kind of interwoven, right? Georgia has those also.
Okay.
So
Oh, interesting.
Bert would do something before we had kids, and I'd go, just fucking whatever. Get over. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Stop being a baby.
Right.
You know, that's what my brain would think. Until my daughter, who's 1 or 2, is having the same processing problems with
Uh-huh.
life. And I go, oh, Bert can't help this.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand now.
And you can't say that to
Oh,
her. Don't be
okay.
a baby. Suck
No.
it up.
So I had to start going, I have to be a wife to him, based on what I've learned from this child, right?
Wow.
So she taught me how to be a better wife and how to love Bert in a
More accepting kind of way.
yes. Not that
And
I
patient.
tried not to let him feel like I thought he was being a baby,
Right.
but in my brain,
Yeah, you're writing it off.
Yes.
Like, just get over it.
and I think I was getting resentful.
Yeah.
You take
Yeah.
up too much fucking air in the room with your I don't want a baby.
yeah.
And then when I watched my daughter do it, I'd go, "Oh, he can't help it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, he can't help that. That's
Uh-huh.
actually not in his control."
Yeah.
That's
He was
huge.
given no coping skills and no tools as a child
Uh-huh.
to deal with this, and now to learn those coping skills as an adult is a really big effort.
Absolutely.
So that's
Wow.
two really important things that have to do with me
Yeah.
that came direct. I wouldn't have learned either of those things if I hadn't had children.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have learned them.
Yep.
Another thing that's been really great is now that my kids are older, I have built something, right?
Yeah. And I understand.
I have
And I think
really built it.
that's my one, like, I'm like, are we going to be 50 and have like no, like that?
What does that look like?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
none of the girls coming down the stairs for prom, like no, like Halloween, like no, like going off to college, then that feels a little bit empty to me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I understand that with you've built something.
Yes.
You know, that's,
We've built something and we built it together. Even
Mm-hmm.
though Bert's almost never here, he's always here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
He's
knows
present.
what's going on in this house.
Yeah.
And he's very plugged in. As soon as he walks across that threshold of the front
Mhm.
door, he is plugged in to what's going on here.
That's pretty amazing too.
It is really
'Cause
amazing.
It's hard to be
Make that
present.
shift.
There's always
Yes.
somebody who's doing something. Yeah.
Yes. He still is very self-focused, but he at least is like, we have softball today. What's going on for Isla today?
Yeah. He
How can I
cares.
help? What can I be involved
Right.
in?
That's great.
I was just talking about this. When was I talking about this? And who was I talking to about? Was I talking about this on the podcast, Halston, where who was I talking to about women having so much more responsibility than men?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And how that's kind of innate.
do you
Mhm.
resent that though?
Sometimes I do.
Because I resent, like, it irritates me.
Mhm.
Yeah, sometimes I do. I watched this Super Nanny episode one
Uh-huh.
time, and she did a visual illustration of this issue.
Yeah.
Like the wife in this
so
episode, that's okay. The wife in this episode was really resentful of how much she was doing.
Right.
So the Super Nanny made little blocks that had like what people do: take out the trash, pick up the kids, deal with the mail, whatever, any of the minutia that has to happen in a house.
Yeah.
And then she had a platter for dad and a platter for mom. And she had mom and dad put the blocks on the person's platter who majority of the time did that responsibility. And mom's platter was like a mountain.
Yeah.
And dad's had like 8 things on it.
Mhm.
And then Super Nanny said to dad, "Do you see why she might be resentful?"
Yeah. Wow.
And it was such
Wow,
a
what
clear
a
visual.
visual.
Oh, great. I like that tool for many relationships,
Me
like
too.
to work out a lot
Yeah.
of things. That's a great
Well,
Yeah.
because
tool
you
to
can't
like
argue the
visually
facts
see.
right in front of you,
Yeah.
right? That you're holding in your hands.
Yeah, instead of just
Wow.
getting in an argument and being like, I do that, blah, blah, blah. And it's so easy to kind of get off on a tangent. That's like a
Totally.
great way to be like, this is nouns and verbs. What's going
Yes.
on?
Totally.
Yes, it's
You
very
know, I like
kind of
that.
fact based.
That's great.
love
So data based, and
Yeah.
and sometimes I have to remember that because he's not here, he can't have some of the stuff on my platter.
Right.
And I have to kind of figure out how to let go
Release
of some
that
of
like
that.
expectation that isn't realistic anyway.
Yes,
It's just setting him up for failure anyway because he's
Yeah.
not even able to
Yeah.
do that. Yeah.
that's right.
Mhm.
Because I think we
fucking
do that
hard.
sometimes too. Is we go, I make every bottle.
Yeah.
Well, and my
Yeah.
theory was I was breastfeeding, but I was like, why would I wake him up to feed a baby when he has to go like to work
Mhm.
tomorrow, and I don't have to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I can't say, hey, dude, you need to like cut
Yeah.
your sleep in half
Mhm.
Yeah.
so that I can nap when the baby naps.
Yeah.
I never did, but
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
theory, I
Yeah.
could.
Right.
So it takes a lot of maturity, I think, to
That's
be able
what
to do that.
did you guys, was there ever a time like when they were babies or when you were so sleep deprived that you like, were you just at each other's throats? Like, was there ever a time that you're like, this was not a good idea? Like, that's what I worry about.
You know what happened? I think I've talked about this before, but Bert did not understand why I wasn't just like a sex kitten as soon as the baby came out of the
You're like,
vagina.
oh God, that is such a guy thing too.
Yeah.
Like,
Isn't
it? You ready to fuck? Oh, you can't. Well, can I put it in your ass?
Yeah.
At least if
Exactly.
you can't,
Yeah.
you know,
6
like,
weeks?
What do you
no,
mean?
I'm not waiting 6
Are you
weeks.
gonna blow me?
like, I would be
Yeah.
terrified to let anything inside me after 6 weeks. Like literally, still even
Not
at
even
6
12.
weeks, I'd
I
be
was like,
yeah,
It's very hard.
it's so hard.
Almost all, I'd say 95% of our fights were about sex
yeah.
because I was
You're tired.
so tired and I
Yeah.
felt like this
Gross
thing has been
and-
sucking on me physically
Yes.
all day.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want you to touch
Touched
the
out.
boobs.
Yes.
This is food.
Yeah.
Touched
Now
out.
you're grossing me out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now I'm nourishing your child.
Yeah.
And you want to fondle them?
Yes.
No. I'm so confused.
Yeah.
And I think something happens chemically in your body where you shift into a like, no, my main priority is
Mom-
making sure this
mom
little thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
not sex.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
the guy has no reason to shift his hormone. There's
None.
no reason for
That's-
him to go, well, my libido is useless now. So I understand the disconnect.
yeah.
Mhm.
But that was the hardest part.
Yeah.
But with me and Bert,
Yeah.
that was the hardest part.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you can have some conversations ahead of time,
Yeah.
I think if he could come to some kind of understanding about,
Our bodies and how it's still
Yes.
healing.
yes,
It takes almost even a year to really fully heal.
Yes.
You know, so they'll never really get what it feels like after you have
No.
a kid.
no.
And it takes months and months and months to even start to feel like, okay, I'm kind of getting back into my body. The most understanding man just won't get it. It's
Yeah.
just that
No.
It's, yes.
you haven't had a kid.
No.
You won't
It's
understand.
a disconnect.
And
And
touched
so
out
that's
is a
hard.
real
Touched
thing.
out is
Like you're
huge.
done
Yeah.
being touched.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I haven't even had a kid, but even just watching her go through the
She's-
whole newborn, I was just like, ugh. It's just
I
there's
told her, like, I don't want
constantly
anyone
something.
hugging me.
yeah.
on it.
Don't touch
Like,
me. I
leave
felt
me
the same.
alone.
Yeah.
I felt the same way. I used to say to Bert, what if your dick exploded?
Yeah.
And then they sewed it back together.
Can I
And then they
suck it?
said, you got to wait 6 weeks before you put that thing in anything.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, that would be really hard for me. I don't know if I
Yeah.
could wait 6 weeks. I was like, yes, you fucking could if your dick exploded.
Oh my God.
If it exploded.
You are not.
Like
Yeah.
exploding cigar, like curled up on itself, like exploded.
A little
So
flag that says
6
bang
weeks would
comes
be
out.
Right?
like-
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God.
He's like, no, I'd still want to do that. And I'm like, you
Bullshit.
were so full of
All
shit.
right, well, let's give it a shot.
Yeah, right?
Let's see.
Let's get a penis pump and just blow that
yeah,
motherfucker
let's
up
see what happens.
and see what happens.
I feel like I'm gonna give out a lot of like haphazard HJs after this. Like
Oh.
this is like the best
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can do for you.
Tot-
It's just like
Just like a 10th grade.
yeah.
but it doesn't work because that doesn't work. I tried it. And Bert would go, this is not what I'm looking for. Never mind. And I go, dude, this is all I got.
All I got.
Tank's on empty. I'm running on fumes.
Yeah, I guess go
You-
get a
you
massage.
need to be
Yeah.
serviced.
Massage,
Okay.
yeah.
Chicka, chicka, chicka,
Yeah.
chicka. He's like, could you at least take your shirt off? No.
No.
No. Are you kidding?
No.
These things are going to start
titty? Just
leaking.
one.
I'm going to spray my boobs all over
Oh
you.
my goodness.
I can't do that. No.
Oh.
I can take my shirt off, but leave my massive nursing bra with the
Sexy
inserted
nursing
pads.
Which, by the way, I kept. They're very comfortable.
They're very comfortable.
really like my
Everyone
nursing
keeps
bras.
them. Brittany wears hers
They're
too.
very comfortable.
They're very comfortable.
I've also been thinking a lot about adoption. Not
Yeah.
joking. I haven't quite got Christian on board with that, but my theory behind that is I kind of think that it eliminates some of the age pressure off, like the time crunch that we're in. I'm 34, he's 38.
Yeah.
So, I still have a few good eggs left, but like they're starting to get old, and so eventually like we're gonna have to like get on it,
Yeah.
I feel like while we're still kind of like on the fence about this, I feel like, adoption I think is so many kids need to be adopted.
Absolutely.
And I've like talked to Charlie about this a little bit, and I was like, do you think you would love an adopted child as much as like your biological? She's like, absolutely, like
Yeah.
100%. Like when you're someone's mom, when you have the privilege of being someone's like safe space and the person that loves them unconditionally, I think
A mother is so much more than you popping
totally.
out a kid from your vagina.
Totally.
A
My mom
mother
did that,
is-
and she
yeah.
was not a mom.
Yes.
See?
So
And a mother is
yeah,
so
it's
different.
an honor and
than-
a privilege to be someone's mom. I'm
Absolutely.
totally aware of that, and so I'm like, but maybe adopting, and I'm not joking about this, like a 3-year-old, because
Yeah.
then we've kind of gotten over that hump of like the real sleepless nights and like the needing to be fed every 2 hours and like the potty training. And I feel like that's where we would have a lot of our issues maybe.
Right.
So I don't know if that's very selfish to think about it like that, but it has been something on my mind to where I'm like, if it's just not feeling right and we get to a point where we've waited too long, like biologically, to have children, I'm down to adopt.
Right.
You know, and so I don't know. It's really something we've been not stressing about, but we also have like a little bit of an infertility issue too that we're gonna need help with.
Got it.
Just IUI actually right now. So IUI, for anyone that doesn't know, is not IVF. It's like we're basically Christian JOs in a cup and they spin the sperm around, they wash it, they get the good ones, and then they put a little catheter in my cervix and pump the good ones up. And actually has a really high success rate.
That's great.
It's very non-invasive too.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah. So I think we're looking down the barrel of it's not going to be like a wild Saturday night. We're purposely going in. We're choosing. We're paying. We're sitting down like to do this. So once it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
What I did tell him though is if that doesn't work and it ever gets to the point where we would need to go the IVF route, I'm not willing to spend $55,000 and upwards to do that. At that point, I'd rather take that money and adopt a child that needs a home.
Sure.
I'm just not willing to do that, have it fail, and do it again. So I think that's kind of adds to like we almost have an option in it, whereas a lot of people just have sex and then they get pregnant, you know, or they kind of haphazardly go like, oh, I'm ovulating like the second
somebody
week
gets
of the
blacked
month.
out in Santa Barbara on her birthday.
Yeah, you know,
some people get pregnant on the pill.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
you know,
Yeah.
at that time you kind of have less room to stress, worry, wonder. You're kind of just like, okay, this is happening, you know, whereas we kind of literally are going to set a doctor's appointment and go. And so I think that almost kind of adds to the stress.
Yeah,
of it,
I can
I'm
see how that's.
overthinking
I
it.
never thought about that. That's very true. I guess when it just happens, you're like, okay, maybe you cry for a day, and then you're like, all right, this is happening. It's okay, but that actually would give me a little bit more concern because you're right. That's finalized. Like we're doing this, and we're doing this with intention.
Signed, still delivered.
And it's the unknown.
It's a very different responsibility on your part, right?
Yeah.
Having sex when you're ovulating and hoping for the best is very different than, hey, will you insert that in me and make sure this kind of happens?
Yes.
Then if you're unhappy, I would imagine, like if you're having an unhappy moment as a mom, you would probably struggle with having that moment because you made that choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
that would make sense to me too. That makes a lot of sense.
And we have a few friends, like Molly has told me this, and I don't know. And again, I'm like, she's like, and she has 2 kids and one on the way, and she's a great mom. She loves them very much. But she is like, having kids is the most, how did she put it? Unfun, joyful thing you'll ever do. She's like, this is not fun. I don't have fun. There's not a lot of fun. She's like, but I'm filled with joy when they hit like little milestones and whatever. And so, and I understand what she's saying with that balance.
Like day to day when you're just
day to day. I mean, and I know it's probably a little different now with your kids at their age than like a 2.5-year-old or a baby. I don't know, but you know, I'm just, I don't know if I'm just such a selfish person that I'm like, I don't want to have like unfun days.
Well, you don't seem a selfish person.
Thank you.
You seem a wise person
just critical
who
thinking.
makes lists.
Yeah.
And checks them
very
off.
true.
Yes.
So you're making a list of possible negatives
Yeah.
and trying to vet those negatives. That's not a selfish person. That's actually the opposite.
Thoughtful. Yeah.
No,
Yes.
thank you. I appreciate
That is the
That's a
opposite.
nice
That's
way to
someone
look at
that's saying, I don't want to go into this and it be a mistake.
Yeah.
I want to go into this and it be the choice, good, bad, and ugly. Because it is good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah.
You know, it's all of it.
I bet.
And to be willing to, you know, when we got pregnant on the pill, I just thought, well, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
I mean, we were trying not to get pregnant. I got pregnant. God is saying,
Totally.
guess what? Here's your path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I never had any, I've said a
Absolutely.
million times, it was the best way to get pregnant
Yeah.
because then I had no doubts
Yes.
that I was supposed to be here.
Yeah.
So I don't think I ever would have had kids if I had had to choose. I'm going to try to get pregnant now.
That's me too.
I don't think I would have ever got married.
That's yeah.
That's an interesting one too.
I'm glad I'm married. He already bought a ring before we found out we were pregnant. So he was planning on proposing to me. But before I met him, I was like, I'm definitely not getting married. I don't need to be married.
Yeah.
My mom's been married 6 times. Doesn't
Yeah.
work out well.
No.
I'm just I'll be living with you.
Like we can have
Yeah.
a life
yeah,
together.
yeah, totally
yeah.
fine. I don't need to get married. It doesn't mean
I'm
anything.
for that personally.
It doesn't mean anything, you know.
It doesn't. It's a business partnership.
It is you're married before you get married.
Right.
Or, you know,
well, if you're
Totally.
building a life
100%.
together,
Yeah.
that's essentially what you're choosing to do with someone, whether you decide to get married or not.
Yeah.
You know, you are choosing to build a life.
Yeah.
You know,
That's absolutely
It's
true.
a ceremony.
And I don't think a piece of paper keeps you anywhere.
No.
I mean, you're not cheating or not, you know, like whatever, because, oh, wait, I have this piece of paper in the safe. Like, you choose because you choose.
Yeah, that's
you know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And
well,
so,
that could be said also for parenting. You choose because you choose.
yeah.
So if you choose to do it, and you've made that choice, that's the thing. I remember who I was talking to about all this now. She and I have similar parents and are both only children and both kind of grew up on our own in a lot of ways. And now she has, her oldest is probably 3 and her youngest is 1.
Okay.
And she's like,
holy shit.
it's interesting when you have no roadmap.
Yeah.
Then you can, in the moment, make the choice that you believe to be the best instead of repeating what you grew up with.
Yes.
Like if you had a decent roadmap, if your mom did a decent job, then you tend to go, okay, I'm just going to do what she did because I was fine. It worked out fine. But when your parenting experience is a disaster, then you're in the moment going, hey, what is the right choice here?
You have like a blank canvas.
And you go, who is this child? And how does what I do affect that child? Because I know as a child what was done to me, how it affected me.
Yeah.
So if you're making the choice to have children, you can make the choice to mindfully parent.
Absolutely.
And mindfully care for yourself.
Yes.
As I know, I didn't care for myself in the beginning. I definitely had some postpartum and didn't know what was going on. My postpartum looked like rage. It did not look like depression. I got out of bed every day and I would get so filled with anger. I'd have to like go in the bathroom and break things and then come back out and be like, okay, and this, I'm not myself. I don't know what's going on here.
Listen to a lot of Metallica then.
Yeah, right? Or something.
Full bus. Yeah, no, totally.
I kept saying, I would like to throw Isla. It didn't happen with Georgia. I would like to watch her physically bounce off the ground.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
And I understand that this is not okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to nicely place her in the crib and go break the toilet.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
And
we had a really interesting episode about postpartum.
Did you?
Yeah, and how it manifests in all different ways and how it's so fucking common, but it's like still
it's more
so
common
like
than
taboo.
not.
I think almost everyone,
pretty much
more
everyone,
people than not.
Yeah.
Well, I think once you get out of it too, you start to realize like, oh yeah, well,
I
definitely
had that. Yeah.
You know, and like you said, you don't know. Depression to me has always been painted because I never personally struggled with the depression kind of personality. But like you always think it's someone who's like locked in their bed and can't get out and can't do anything and can't function, where actually you could be highly functional.
Totally.
But you don't even know where you're suppressing, you know,
yes,
those
it's true.
feelings until you're fucking breaking shit in the bathroom, you know? Or like for me, I was just like internally bummed, but I would have a smile on my face and be like, I got this. But I kind of was like,
you were blue.
wow. So, okay, this is it. All right, cool. Yeah. I wasn't stoked. And I remember telling Rick, I'm like, I'm not that excited yet. I'm not. I'm just going through the motions. I love him, but I don't love being a parent.
Right.
You know?
And all those dreamy things you hear. Oh,
totally.
The heavens have opened and your life has changed forever. And it's the most amazing.
For people who didn't have a life before that.
That's sincere when people say that.
Yeah.
Maybe a very small percent. But I think the people that say that either A, really care what other people think, or B, really didn't have a lot going on prior to having kids. You know, like we know a few people who their marriage is literally just that. It's like, it's sexual primarily, and they're not really friends. They don't enjoy spending time together. Like it's almost like they needed something else and
interesting
in their life. That's my personal, and that could be very judgy, but for someone to say, and I think this is one of the big reasons we started our podcast, is I think both of us, we hate how fake social media is.
Yeah.
I would so much rather be like, today was such a shit show. My kids spit on a couch. I literally have been wearing these sweatpants for 2 days. Because like, so have you. And that's the truth.
Yeah,
we're all
true.
gross.
Yes.
Like literally everyone's not having a nice time.
Isn't it relieving though when you hear somebody else talking like that?
Yeah.
It's relieving because we all really are.
Yeah.
We
like
all
100%.
are human beings.
Totally.
feelings.
And I hate that fake, like the mom that like lined up. I read the most interesting thing the other day. It was like this lady was at the pool. She watched this mom and her little girl walk in wearing matching swimsuits, matching sun hats.
Oh my God.
The mom was on the phone. The little girl asked like 10 times, please play with me in the pool. The mom put her in the pool, didn't let her get her hair wet for 1 second, took a picture, and they packed up and left. And then there's going to be some poor mom who's looks disgusting, whose house is messy, who's has 1% left, who's going to see that and think she's not doing enough.
Right.
You know, and it's like so untrue. And like,
Yeah.
I have no problem telling you my life's a shit show. It is. Like
Yeah.
everyone has, you know, and so I don't know why
being open and honest about this is like really powerful.
It is really
You
powerful. And, Kristen McDermott, who's a therapist, who's a regular guest, she says she likes the theory of the good enough mom.
Me too.
I'm good enough.
Yes.
You're healthy. You're learning the lessons you need to learn. You're following the rules of the house. Good enough.
Yeah.
I can't make it
100%.
to every softball game, but I do the ones I can. I can't help you with every homework project, but I do the ones I can. And it's good enough. And sometimes, you know what? You get to freaking break the rules and eat 8 candy bars because I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's
I love that.
good enough.
Yeah.
Ugh, I love that.
There's another book called
What a relief. To just
what a
be
relief.
good enough, to let yourself just be good enough.
To let yourself be good enough.
And not the
Life is
best.
so short, and
Not
it's still
great.
your life too. You're
Yes.
still you. I feel like
Yes.
people can get really lost, which can be depressing, and like investing so much of themselves in their kid, where it's like that. You know that kid's gonna grow up and go to college one day and like leave you, and then you really are gonna have to be focused on yourself and what you've been setting a foundation for you all these years, and that's really telling when that time comes.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
do you still have a circle of friends? Do you still have hobbies? Do you like, because your kid, if you do a good enough job, even,
Yeah.
they're going to leave you as
Yeah.
they should.
Yes.
And you're still
What are you left with?
You have to remember that's so important. And to set an example, like you have 2 girls. You're setting an example for like what a woman to them is supposed to be. So what do you want your children to kind of see?
Totally.
That
Right.
you have boundaries for yourself, that you have value, and that there are other things other than them that you care about as well.
Yes.
Yep.
You know?
That you have
I remember you talking
relationships.
about that on your podcast where you're like, I didn't feel like I had anything for me.
Right.
And now I set this time for my show. And
Yeah.
unless it's something really important, I'm like, no, I can't do that. This is my thing. And I
Yeah.
love that when you said that.
Yes. I've added
it's
that.
important.
I've always been that way with therapy forever. Nothing interrupts therapy unless it's something super urgent. And then I added this to it 2.5 years ago. 2 years ago? 2 years ago.
Oh, same time as
And
us. That's
then-
cool. Okay, I didn't
I
know
know,
that.
right?
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
awesome.
And then I just recently added my trainer. Right. So I'm going
Awesome.
to a trainer 3 days a
good
week.
for
That's
you.
how I lost 12 pounds.
Awesome.
And I don't let anything interrupt it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry. I can try to move it, but I don't usually. Because I go, no, that is
It's your
for
thing.
me.
Yes,
Yep.
you're
That's for me.
investing in yourself.
That's for me.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
those 3 things are non-negotiable, if at all possible.
Yeah.
Obviously someone's fallen and broken something, I'm
Yeah.
canceling everything.
Right.
But if someone wants to go to lunch and I have that scheduled, no, I can't go to lunch that day. I got to
Yeah.
go another day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think something that was really important for me in parenting was before we moved to this neighborhood, I didn't have any. I had some friends that had kids the same age,
Right.
but we didn't really. We all worked,
Yeah.
so we didn't spend a lot of time together so that
Totally.
we could relieve each other. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
Once we came to this neighborhood, 3 or 4 moms would get together and put our 6 or 8 kids in a room, and there was enough eyes on them that we could have an adult conversation
Nice.
and we could, foster relationships with other adults and still take care of our kids and be
Yeah.
good parents, right? I think that
nice.
is really important, even when you
Totally.
have babies. So you probably have a good social system at where you live, where your friends already have kids,
Mhm.
where you could kind of do that. So I
Yeah.
think if you have that, then that would be a great thing to kind of rely on, is to go,
It's a
I
good-
can always call
Yeah, like I
Charlie
can,
and say, oh
yeah.
my God, and she'll know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think even down
Very
the
true.
road, if like since our kids, if they're not the same age or whatever, you
Doesn't
do have a
matter.
handful of friends who are
People who've
parents
done it.
who know how,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who literally will always be around
And have your back.
to be,
Yes. It's funny.
that you would trust your kid with too. Like,
Yeah.
can I go upstairs and take a shower?
So
no
true.
problem. Go take a nap. for a couple
100%.
hours. I got
Yeah.
it.
And you don't trust anyone like you do another mom. I remember when her son
totally.
was first born. We don't really have that many friends with kids, actually. It's odd, or in our core group, I guess. But one of our really good friends had had a baby like maybe 2 or 3 years prior, and she had just had her baby. It was Halloween, and he was crying, and she reached out to grab him and immediately was able to rock him back.
Oh, because I was trying to go outside with you
Yeah.
for like 1 minute to go have a quick cocktail and a cigarette. I was like, I just need to be outside and be a human being. Yeah, and our friend was like, give him to me. Go
But
outside for 5 minutes.
ease
It's
that
fine.
you give it to another mom
Didn't
and
even
just
think
like
twice.
the
Yeah.
trust.
Yeah.
And she just put him right to
Well,
it was like
that
the most
swing
interesting.
that you'll never forget doing.
I know,
you
right?
just have that in
Oh,
you.
when my nephew was born, I hadn't had a baby in 11 years. And the minute I picked him up, I started
Totally.
doing that.
Right.
He goes right back. It's so instinctual.
Yeah.
But you're right. Even if the baby's crying, even if the baby's losing their mind, his mind,
Mhm.
you know that mom
Yeah.
has got it. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The baby's fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whereas, you worry about
Yeah,
people who never had
somebody
kids
else is
before.
like,
I didn't watch him till he was
yeah.
like a year, even for an afternoon. And I don't blame her. It's just like I'm not that like.
well, you
I'm
didn't
not-
want to. Yeah, I mean,
I was
you were
like
like
uncomfortable. 'cause he's so
uncomfortable.
small,
So
and
I
was
never,
like, you know.
Yeah, I never wanted you to feel.
But another mom, is like, oh, I
Totally.
have this. Like,
Yeah,
and
I
you
got
trust them. You're like, okay,
Totally.
you're a mom. Like, fine.
And I bet you can always call the ghost. She can show up in her.
Oh,
There you
I'm
go.
like, who's the ghost?
show up in her.
She'll be doing
sheet.
drive-bys anyway.
I, not even joking, have had very recent therapy about like in the last. I mean,
Her mom used to drive by when we were teenagers and then call my mom to confirm, like, they're
They're
here
there.
over. They've made it. They're not lying to us. Like, they were just in cahoots all the time.
she was not. My mom just has the thing where she cannot feel like anything's being hidden from her at all whatsoever. So it was interesting that you said Georgia's become very private because, like, I'm thinking to myself, you are not allowed privacy. Like, and that kind of goes back to my first statement, which was in like the 80s, parents were like, you are who I say you are,
Yeah.
And I look at that as like, I get that you kind of, well, first of all, your own kid. You know that Georgia's probably not out, like railing lines of cocaine and like,
I
you
don't
know who
think
she
so.
is.
Yeah.
So therefore you can give her a little bit more privacy because you know that whatever she's being private about is like innocent 15-year-old stuff. I feel like giving that privacy is important. My mom just like was not about that. And I that's something like I do not want to emulate that. Like I don't want, my mom would like ransack my room, like looking for crazy things that weren't even there. I don't want to be like that. So
So how did that make you feel when your mom would do that?
I mean, well, I wasn't allowed to feel any way about it because if you piped out, like she would go, but I mean,
But you had to have some
furious.
feelings.
Yeah. I mean, just
Yeah.
furious.
You feel
Like
betrayed.
there was nothing there. And like it was like she was making it up in her head. And I love my mom. We have
Yeah,
a great
totally.
relationship now.
No,
but
I
it's,
get it.
now that I'm like as an adult,
Yeah.
and I have my own house, like I pay my own bills. It's like, so now we're good. But yeah, then it was like, what the fuck are you looking for? Like, there's nothing in here. There's nothing. Like, I was a really normal teenager. Like, there was nothing weird going on. So yeah, it was, and I don't want to do that. I do not. So I love that you give the room and the respect of like allowing a little bit of privacy, or at least the illusion of privacy. If you really wanted to find something out, I'm sure you could,
Yeah,
but
I could, but I don't want to.
Mhm.
There's a
I love
lot.
that.
There's a lot of parenting that happens nowadays in this age group that I'm not subscribing to.
Mhm.
I'm just refusing to subscribe to,
Mhm.
and maybe some of it is ignorant on my part.
What are some
or
of the
not.
things
Yeah.
that you feel like I do not want to be like that?
A lot of Georgia's friends' parents are so focused on college already,
Mm.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she's a
Rushing it.
sophomore,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I'm not going to worry
with
about
you.
that. They're all like, well, what classes has she signed up for junior year? Because junior year, that's
Oh
the
my
transcript they
God,
look
I
for.
can't.
Oh,
And they need to
God.
be in AP biology and this. If they're going to a UC school, they need to have this language and this. And I'm like, what?
Kids are
Right.
having
I can't.
breakdowns.
Yeah.
I'm
they are.
not doing that. I'm
Yep.
but FYI,
So with you on that.
I'm not doing that.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. And Georgia said to me, I don't want to do that because I just want to be in high school.
Yeah.
And I
good for
went,
her.
amen, sister. I want you
Totally.
just to be in high
She'll
school.
figure
too.
it out. She's going to be fine.
Go to community college for a year and transfer into
In
an
fact,
SC
I think
school.
that's the smarter way to
It's
go.
super
Way
smart.
Smarter.
That's one thing I'm not subscribing to. The intense athletics. I do not enjoy, and neither does she, but she wants to play.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, she wants to play softball for her high school. She loves being part of the team. By the end of the week, she is completely shot.
Yeah.
because she's been in 4 practices and 2 games.
Yeah.
And she has homework and she has friends and she's a Girl Scout. And so she's like, she's shot. And I keep going, why are you adding all these tournaments and all these things for us to do? Isn't it just enough to have like 2 practices and a game a week and just be the team that you are?
Yeah.
And not have to be these rocket star, super crazy athletes. Why can't you just be a high school athlete?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. But I am really an anomaly in the high school athletics world.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I just don't get it. But I want her to play because she wants to play.
Yeah.
So I just don't get that, man. I really don't.
I don't either. I think
and
it's
I don't
outrageous.
get the hovercraft mom that uber monitors every piece of social media.
Oh, well, and good luck when your kid goes off to college and just fucking hits the wall because
they have their first taste.
You don't even know. Yeah, you don't even know what to do with yourself if you have had such a helicopter human being over you the entire. You don't even know what to do with yourself.
Right.
You know, like it's a total disservice.
It is a total disservice, and I think 2 things are happening. They're trying to push them to be grown up too fast. What's going on for college? High responsibility with athletics. Taking one of her friends has every class as an AP class. Every fucking class.
I think that's insane.
Like, you're a sophomore.
Yeah.
What are you going to learn when you're a senior?
Yeah. I mean, my God.
Why?
How are you doing homework? What are you? How are
up
you?
till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning doing homework.
No. That's terrible.
I don't get it. I really don't.
I don't either.
I don't get what's happening and why people aren't going, time out.
Yeah.
Let's just kind of take a couple steps back here.
Yes. Well, everyone's trying to there's also this, I don't know if there's like unlived dreams within these parents. And just the expectation of I need my kid to be the best because everyone thinks that their kid is the second coming of Christ. And like there's just so many. To me, I think my goal, at least for my kid, I just want my kid to be happy and a good person.
Same.
Yep.
As long as my child is happy, that's the only expectation that I want to help serve and provide for my child to grow into an adult. Be a good person, be good to yourself, and just I hope that you're happy.
Yeah. Be a good person, be good to yourself, and hope they're happy.
Yeah.
That's all I want to.
Because on your dying day, are you going to be like, oh, I'm so glad I took that AP class in 10th grade?
Totally.
Right?
No.
And when you are an event planner, because that's your dream job, and you're planning weddings and events, does it matter that you had AP geometry?
No.
No.
And I think along with being happy, I think that there's like this fine line because I'm so with you. I've always said all I care about my kids being are humble and kind. Just be a humble person and be kind to everyone. But the happy thing, I feel like, part of being happy is learning boundaries for yourself and self-respect. So I think there is some like if you signed up for a season of softball and it's really rough, finish it out.
I agree.
Have that self-respect for
Totally
yourself to complete your
and be part of a team.
Your
like
commitments.
And
then it was too much for you. You assess that. Let's find something else next year.
Right.
Like that is like,
That's huge though too. Like no matter what though to me, I feel like I think having some sort of extracurricular activity is important for a kid aside from school. That's the only other thing that I would like.
Anything.
We'll figure out something,
art,
but you need to do
sport.
something.
Yes,
aside
I'm that
from
way.
School.
I went with Isla. I'm like, you have to play a sport because they don't get enough exercise as kids. They'll just sit on the couch on their device. So I'm like, you choose the sport. Tennis, lacrosse,
whatever.
Basketball, softball, swimming. I don't care the sport. You just have to choose one.
Yep. Yeah.
So she chose tennis and she complains about it massively every week. And I go, no problem. Choose a different sport.
Yeah.
But you have to play one sport.
Yeah.
I don't care what the sport is, but you're not going to be some lazy lump that sits on my couch all the time.
No.
You're going to move your body a little bit because that's a good habit to be in
Totally.
when you're an adult.
Yes.
Find something you enjoy.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do they say? You need 3 hobbies. One that makes you money, one that keeps you in shape, and one that
feeds your soul?
Oh, no. That's so nice. But no, it's like more direct than that. It's like one to make money, one because you enjoy it, and one to keep you healthy, or like something like that. And I'm still struggling with that. Like some people like love yoga and they love I don't know what it is that I love that's active, but it would be so nice to know exactly what it is and like you enjoy it.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
Such a great habit to instill so young.
It sounds
That's
like she
great.
should do indoor rock climbing with
Yes.
her friggin' wild feral skills.
Oh, she'd be a great rock climber
Good-
for
good at
sure.
Scaling a wall.
Yeah, would be a great rock climber.
Oh my gosh.
I about that.
But the other thing I was saying, I think parents are doing two things that are opposite. One is they're pushing them into adulthood too soon.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is they don't give them enough independence.
Yes.
There's not enough like, yeah, you can walk home from school, no problem. You know, Georgia gets an allowance and she takes it with her to school and her school is walking distance to a Gelson's. I don't need to know she's at Gelson's. I don't need to know she's going there.
Good for you.
That's one of those things where I go, you can walk to Gelson's anytime you want and you don't need to tell me.
See, I'm
know?
terrified right now.
Are you?
But we're talking about roadmaps and what you had growing up and how you emulate.
Yeah.
That would have been such a no-no that I don't, and that's what I'm
Oh.
trying to work on now before possibly having kids is it should be absolutely fine that your kid at almost 16 years
Age
old can go to
appropriate.
Gelson's.
She could be
Age
driving
appropriate.
in
Right,
like 4
right.
months.
See, I'm gonna have to fight being that
and she should
hovering
be able
mom.
to
'Cause
handle that.
of course.
Yeah.
But
Mentally, I know I do not want to be like this, but it's like my first reaction is I'm like, really, Gelson's? Like, what if there's someone in the parking lot? She doesn't like literally. That's my thought,
Right.
Which is nuts. That's psycho.
Well, I
So
don't
I
know
have to
that it's
work on that.
psycho. I think it's actually normal for what's going on today. There's so many parents who just won't let their kids do something simple like walk home from school.
Yes.
Like our kids are
Yes.
3/4 of a mile from school, and every Tuesday they get out at 1:30, and I'm like, walk home. You know, we got nothing
Yes.
going on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
By the time you amble your way home,
Yeah.
45 minutes it takes
Yeah.
you to walk that short distance.
Yeah.
You guys still have a whole afternoon. So walk home.
Yeah.
So she's gotten this like pack of neighborhood kids that are like these.
Yeah.
They all walk home together.
Love it.
They
That's
all
great.
walk to my house. What's really funny is they walk to my house and their parents pick them up from my house.
Oh.
And they live like 2 blocks farther.
Yeah.
Literally.
They
And
just
I'm
can't
like,
go any further.
I know, right?
like the Oregon
We can
Trail.
go to your house, but that's it.
Yeah.
No more.
Mom, 2 oxen were killed on the way home. We couldn't pass the river. My friend
We had to
Stephanie
eat
got
Brenda.
cholera.
Oh, last week, this was the coolest thing. Only one other girl walked home with her last week. And they came home. I was sitting in the yard with the dogs. And they show up from their walk and they were so excited. I was like, what's going on? And Isla and Charlotte go, we saw a dead squirrel. There was a dead squirrel. And then we found a random bag of birdseed and covered it. And I was like, first of all, where'd you find the birdseed?
Yeah.
Second of all, why would you cover a dead squirrel with birdseed? Now birds are going to eat the dead squirrel.
That's what I like. Yes.
This is really screwy.
I'm like, did they watch that happen?
I
Like,
don't know. They were so
Like
excited. It took them a full 30 minutes extra to get home that day because they were dealing with this dead squirrel. And I thought to myself, that's what you should be doing.
Yes.
This is what you
You weren't on a
should be doing.
device. You were like
Yep.
looking around
Yep.
you. You saw
Yes.
like some nature shit, some
Yeah.
Nat Geo. Like,
Yep.
oh my
It's
God.
exciting.
That's so true.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Such a good point. When I have kids and they're like 13, I'm going to call you with an anxiety.
every day.
Talk me off the ledge, please.
Tell me
Like,
the ledge. Can she walk next door?
I
Can't you walk
wished
next
so hard for independence that I don't want to turn around and be even just a little bit of independence. Like, I get it. Like, you have to put a cap. Like, there's boundaries and you're
age
allowed to set
appropriate.
them.
100%.
But I wanted independence so bad. So I don't want to turn around and be someone that doesn't allow for independence. But it's like you said, you have to break that mold.
Yeah, you do.
And so
Yes. And
I'm,
you
like,
have to
working
get
on
out
it.
of your comfort zone a little bit because you think, I still see Georgia as that 4-year-old chubby cheeked,
Mhm.
adorable child sometimes. And she's not.
Yeah.
So, she and her friends will take public transportation, take the bus if they want to go to the mall. It's on the same street. Like,
Yeah.
it's on Riverside Drive.
Yeah.
It's a straight shot to
Yeah.
the mall
Yeah.
on the bus.
Yeah.
Not a problem. That's
Yeah.
not a problem. Her daddy is a disaster
Yeah.
because she's on public transportation.
Yeah.
I'm like, kids in New York City take the public transportation
Totally.
Yeah.
at 5 years old to
Yeah.
school by themselves.
Yeah.
So we're good.
It's okay.
Nothing's going to happen to them in broad daylight in
Yeah.
the valley. No,
Yeah.
we're not sending her
Yeah.
So
to
okay.
Skid Row
Yeah.
on a
Yeah.
bus.
It's true.
I think that it's really good to have if you're raising someone to be an adult.
Yes,
eventually.
that's the point.
They should be able to figure out okay, when's the bus coming?
Yes.
Like this is kind of problem solving
It
in a
is.
simple form. Like I think it's a great thing to do.
Yeah, in a safe neighborhood.
Yes.
Yeah, they're fine.
With a group of girls.
Yes.
Totally.
So
No, I love
if
it.
these 5 ninnies can't figure this out,
Yeah, we
you
got
know,
problems.
I feel like we need to know that.
Like work on it.
Yeah.
If you
My
5
parents would
ninnies-
never, ever, ever let me. There was, remember, and everyone got to take it except me. There was the beach bus that would take you to Zuma for like $1.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
I
that.
begged, I wanted so, but they just wouldn't let me do it. And see, and now we were talking about this earlier, how like we have our books and, you know, because we're kind of micromanaging like the house and whatever. And so I'm kind of at this point where like, this is a little bit off the subject, but like I almost get resentful at Christian for not doing things, but at the same time I have to do them all because like I need them done my way. And if I it's kind of the same way as like letting my kid get on a bus. I'd be like, well, maybe I'll walk you to the bus and I'll point out which one you need to get on, which is totally
Fine.
no, I don't think it's fine at all.
Oh, you don't think
if
it's
I
fine?
go and help them? No, what I'm saying is
Oh,
it's
you want him
defeating
to
the
figure it out
purpose of
himself.
giving them the independence.
Well, I think it would depend on the age of the child.
Mhm.
If they're
Yes.
younger, then
Yeah.
you should walk to the bus and go, there's a blue bus and a red bus.
Yeah.
Don't get on the red bus.
Yeah.
Do you see where the blue bus is parked?
Yeah.
It's right here. The red
Yeah.
bus is over there. That's not the right bus. But at
Yeah.
a certain age,
They have to do it.
almost driving,
Yeah.
you have to go. You should probably
You should
figure out by the
Be able to go to Gelson's and get yourself a lunch.
100%
You
by
know, you
yourself.
should be able to go to the
true.
bus.
Yeah.
And take it over there.
Same. They go to Gelson's here all the time. They walk friend's house blocks and blocks away. They walk there.
Mhm.
We don't like them walking like under the interstate.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But in our neighborhood, yeah. I just had a good thought and it left me.
Oh,
Dang it, I hate when that happens.
Me too.
Yeah. This is my life.
See, I
Me
should have
too.
called you and left it on a voicemail while
Yeah,
we were
I
talking.
I know.
Like I said, so
Like,
while you're talking.
Can we bring it back?
Leanne Kreischer here. Don't forget.
Remind me to tell you. No. Dang it, what was I thinking?
we're talking about the bus, age appropriate.
Yeah. Oh no.
it's
I don't
happens
know.
to me all the
Anyway.
time.
Anyway, raising kids is
Tall or
oh, I remember. See, it came back. It came
There
back.
you
It
go.
came back. Here's what I've learned about maturity, right? I'm continuing to mature.
Me too.
I'm 50 this year, and I still see things that I'm handling better today than I handled even a year ago.
Good. You're growing.
So everybody
It's
is that
amazing.
way. So when
Yeah.
I speak to maturity, I'm not saying anybody's immature. I'm saying that maturity happens your whole life,
Mhm.
right? So I remember when I first realized I was in love with Bert. He's a comedian. He's broke. No promise of making any money ever because that lifestyle is such a gamble.
It's like dating an actor.
It's like dating an actor.
Right.
I had a panic attack. It's the only one I've had my entire life.
Yeah.
Ever. And I called my girlfriend, who ended up being our maid of honor, and said, I don't know what's happening to me. I feel like I'm dying. I can't catch my breath. My heart is racing. And she was like, you're having a panic attack. I'll be right over. She came over and I was talking her and I just started saying, I can't be in love with this guy. I mean, I can't do it. I mean, we're never going to have any money. He's going to be gone. I'm going to be raising kids by myself. This is going to be, I can't do it. There's no way. And she sat me down and went, oh, honey, it's over. You're totally in love with this guy and he's in love with you and he's the right person. So just give that up. Let's go see Finding Nemo. And I went, okay. So we went to see Finding Nemo. But after that moment, I sat down with myself and went, okay, if this is my path, I need to embrace what I know and adjust my reaction to that. He's a slob. I know he's a slob.
Yeah.
I can't marry a slob and say you can no longer be a slob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say to myself,
Mhm.
you knew this walking in.
Yeah.
You have to adjust your reaction to the slob.
Love that. Yeah.
So it's the same with
That's
having
huge.
kids. You know, I
Yeah.
know I like my space. I know I like my freedom. I know I like sleeping late with my husband. I know I like traveling. I know I'm not going to get that for a few years. So let's handle ourselves with that and know that it will come back, right? The
Yes.
slobbing is never leaving.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the traveling is coming back with me, with
Yes.
my husband. And the sleeping late and the fun time and the goofing around.
It'll
and
come
the dad and I are going out for a date. You know, pizza's in the oven.
Yeah.
We'll see you when we're back from a date. It's coming back. But it did have to push pause for a while.
Yes.
And it takes a certain maturity, I think, to say, I know what's coming and I have to be willing to handle my emotions that are not maybe going to be appropriate, right?
Yeah.
So, and I still had them, by the way.
Yeah.
I still had the temper tantrum. I just fucking want a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to know that that's coming and that you have to handle that as it comes, I think is helpful.
Totally.
Does that make sense?
That's huge.
100%.
Oh
yeah,
God,
it
I wish I
does.
talked to you about this many relationships ago.
Yeah, no,
That's
totally.
huge.
It's true.
You know, the expectation of somebody. Why would you want to change someone? You can't.
You can't.
Not like what things that you're talking about. You
Yeah.
know, someone's a slob. They're probably always going to be a slob.
Yeah.
You know.
Someone belches and
People-
farts at the table,
Yeah.
probably not changing at
No.
30
So
some years
are
old.
you okay with that?
Can
you know?
you
Can
you
live
deal
with
with it?
that?
Mhm.
That's I made a mental list of those things and answered those questions. Is love worth this?
Yeah.
Can you live with this for love?
Right.
Mhm.
All these positive things you're getting. And that can be applied to a job.
Yeah.
Can be applied to
absolutely.
having a baby, having a
Mhm.
dog, to whatever. You can go, okay, if I'm gaining all this love, I know I'm going to
Yes.
have to live with all these negative things.
Very true.
So can I
That's
adjust
cool.
myself
Yeah.
to live with these negative things because they're absolutely going to be here?
Uh huh.
You know, baby's going to throw up over and over
Yeah.
again all night long for 2 days straight, and you're not going to sleep. And that's the
Mhm.
reality.
yeah.
So when you're in the moment, you can't go, fuck this, I'm
Yeah.
I
out.
don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Take it back.
Yeah.
You got to go, nope, I signed up for this. Yes, it sucks.
I was a nanny for a really long time. Like,
Were you really?
yeah, and I love the girls, and they're like all so
You
old
would
now.
have been an amazing nanny.
She was really good.
I was a good
She
nanny.
was
I
really
love
good.
them. It was,
Yeah.
and I started when I was like 17. They were like 6 months, 2 and 6, and now they're like, oh my God, 24.
Oh my
I don't know,
God.
crazy ages. I know, but I remember the mom telling me, and I'm still really close to the family, and I love them very much. But she said, any red flags someone has now. I remember her telling me this when I was like 17 or 18 and had like my first boyfriend, and he was, a fucking loser. But
Yeah.
she's trying to nicely like let me figure it out my own time. And she's like, don't bring him to the house, okay? But, make sure he never comes over.
Try not to fuck on my couch. My kids are here.
But she was like, any red flags that someone has now, you need to imagine they're only gonna get worse. She's like, so like exactly what you're saying, and that has stuck with me since I was like 17. Like, if you can deal with a sink full of dishes every day, fine, because it's never probably really gonna change.
Right.
If they're like smoking crack, like that's probably when you can't deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, just you have
totally.
to assess what you can live with, and
So,
it's always stuck with me.
That's a great way to look at that. And to apply it to what you said earlier, right?
Mhm.
About, I know I'm going to have most of the responsibility. My husband is the breadwinner.
Yes.
So a lot of this falls to me. And any problems that you have in a marriage gets magnified when you have
Mhm.
children.
Yes.
Is there anything that you can look at honestly now with yourself or with your husband and say, let's get this handled? Let's get ahead of this, because once we put a baby in the mix,
Yeah.
it's going to
Mhm.
get either worse or better.
Yeah.
And I know the sex thing with Bert got worse for a long time.
Yeah.
And we obviously worked through it.
Right.
But
We totally have sex now.
yeah, right. We had no sex issues before children.
Yeah.
None at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that wasn't even an issue I knew was coming.
Yeah.
So if we had already had issues,
Totally.
and then these issues you can't anticipate come
Right.
up, that would be really overloading, I would
Totally.
imagine.
Yeah.
So if you have anything, not just you, anybody listening, if you're like, I want to have kids, but there's this one thing my husband and I just can't get past,
Yeah.
maybe you should figure that out before you add a kid to it.
You know, one thing we've been doing, and I actually really, I'm trying to do this. My husband is such an easygoing person for the most part. He's an Aries, born in April. So when he gets stubborn, it's the scariest thing you've ever seen. You cannot move this man, which is scary, but it's so rare that it happens. Other than that, though, he's very easygoing and he's like very generous. Like, it's very, and I started to notice like, it takes me like a million hours to clean my house, and he's never helps. And so I finally was like, okay, instead of nagging and getting upset, I went to him and I was like, look, it doesn't seem like you're willing to help me clean the house. Like, you're tired when you get home, you work a long day. And he's like, right. I'm like, so how about I don't nag you about it, but we get a housekeeper? And he's like, that's fine. I'll pay for a housekeeper. Get a housekeeper. So I have a housekeeper come once a month, and she does all the deep cleaning.
Right.
And then I can spend like 2 hours a week instead of like 7 hours. And I'm like, okay, so now I'm not bitching at him. He had zero problem paying for this. He's like, that's fine. Do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to help you. I'm too tired. I don't want to clean this house.
Yeah.
So we've really eradicated something there. We're both
Super
getting our
great.
needs met. I'm trying
Yeah.
to figure out little things like that now, to where it's like,
Mhm.
okay, well, if he doesn't mind me getting, this person or whatever it is, why argue about it? We're both having, so I'm trying to, and I know it's a little different with a kid, but there's some things like that, like,
but not really.
Yeah,
it is different, but it's not.
Yeah. You can apply
it's helping. It's helping. So
that's
maybe
a great formula.
Yeah,
it's a great formula.
Yeah,
because really, I think women sometimes feel like they should be able to do it all.
Right.
I feel that way.
Yeah.
I've been complaining about my housekeeper for years, and I can't seem to fire her because every time I go to fire her, she starts crying, and then I go, never mind. And then I suffer through this woman that I go, are you fucking kidding me? Are you blind? Why can't you clean this one thing ever? And then like she perfect example today, I have a piggy bank in my laundry room because change is constantly falling out of people's pockets.
Yes.
So I have a piggy bank in the laundry room. She dusted it and put it up ass out.
No.
No.
I was like, you can't even fucking put it snout out. It's ass out.
It's just lazy. That's
just lazy. And I go, what are you doing?
That's ridiculous.
Have
me over. I'll fucking fire her.
That's what I was
so many
saying.
people
Should we
say
call
that.
and pretend that we're you?
Yeah.
I'll just call her.
Right.
Rikki and I have no problem with confrontation.
Yeah,
your
it's the
accent.
crying. I have 3 children, blah, blah,
You
blah.
should,
And I
you
go,
should leave the
"Oh,
house, and so she comes in, and we're already sitting on your couch like this.
Glad
Listen,
you're here.
Rosa, take a seat, please.
That's so funny. Take a seat, please.
Yeah,
You're fired.
she's on a walk. Don't
like
worry
Chris
about her.
Hansen.
Yeah, you won't be needing that duster. Sit down. Sit down. This is gonna be brief.
I'll get you a nice coffee.
Yeah.
Before we start, will you turn that piggy bank around?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and now
Real
you know
fast.
why you're fired.
That's
you can go.
frustrating.
I don't even know why we got on this subject. I don't even
So
remember.
you feel like women feel like they should
Yes,
be able to do it
yes.
all?
That's right. When really, honest to God, my laundry is killing me.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
killing
yeah,
me.
totally.
It's sucking my soul.
Yeah.
And I cannot hire somebody to
Laundry
do
service.
my laundry. I can't even do it.
Why?
Because I feel like I should be able to do everything.
But you can't.
I know, but I'm
Yeah.
to your point.
Yeah.
Of I'm nagging,
Yeah.
and then all I had to do was say, "Hey, can I just hire a housekeeper?" And he
Yes.
says yes.
Yeah.
But I think women naturally
Yes.
bear
Yes.
the burden.
Mhm.
Yes.
They're like the beast
true.
of burden of I
Mhm.
have to do everything.
Yes.
Or I'm not worth
Very true.
whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, we could afford to hire someone to cook for us, to pick up my kids. We could afford to do everything. And
So
I
why not
refuse.
eradicate some of your stress? Yeah,
So
I know,
much.
but it's so easy
Well,
to
you
tell
feel
someone
like-
else, right?
It
It's
is,
like, you
right?
can't do everything.
That's
Yes,
that's
it
why I
is.
had my mental health day, and she
Yeah.
was like, "You got to you need to figure out something else with like your kid." And because I literally am either working or with my kid, I have very, very tiny moments
To
in my
yourself.
week to
Of
myself,
self-care.
and
Of self-
and but I feel like on my days off, why
Guilty
would
for
I
not
hire
spending time
somebody
with them.
else to be watching my kid even for an hour? I feel like that's not okay. And then the laundry and the house and grocery shopping and cooking and clean. I'm with you. Like, why do we all feel like we're supposed?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's part of our wiring.
I do too. I just think that there's something in our minds as women, like we naturally want to
society.
handle.
For sure. Society makes
I
you
don't
feel like
know.
you should like look pretty, be on top of everything, work, like still take care of your house, still be a really great mom, but like don't skimp on like it's unwinnable, I think. So at some point you have to go what your friend who's the therapist said. Good enough. This is good enough.
This is good enough.
Like
Yeah.
use Instacart and a laundry service and
Mhm.
have 2 hours to read, and then you're a nicer person to your kids, and you
Yeah.
make a memory by making a pizza or like whatever, because it's like a trickle down effect. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
delegate it out, and like I don't know.
Yep.
It's so easy to say though. To like
It is easy to
yeah.
say.
Well, way easier.
Maybe it's something that we have to say to ourselves, like almost like a reverse psychology. Like, I know I can do it all.
Yeah,
But I
don't
think
want
that
to.
this is a more efficient way.
Yeah.
Therefore, I am being smarter, not working harder.
That's a
like I
good
just had a
plan.
click. That's what I have to tell
Say it again.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like I know that I can do it all. That
I
Yeah.
choose
We know that.
not to.
but I think
maybe.
that this is a more efficient way. So
Yeah.
therefore I'm working smarter and not harder for myself.
that.
That's a
Who wants
great
to-
way of saying that.
Because
to
then
yourself.
I think that you think you're being selfish.
I
Mhm.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I do. That's how I feel. I feel guilt. Well, no, fuck that. I mean, it's really being more efficient.
Totally.
I feel guilty, and
You
I
know?
think I grew up so blue collar
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
you just don't pay for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like you are throwing money out
Yeah.
the window for
Mhm.
someone to fold
Yeah.
your
I
laundry.
feel the same.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
Mm-hmm.
part of the I've read 2 or 3 books now about people who grew up blue collar and then moved into a white collar world.
Have a really
and
tough
they
time.
all have the same problem.
Yeah.
Why am I paying someone to cut my grass? I should be able to cut my grass.
That's just living life.
You know,
Yeah, like that's just what you
part
do.
of life.
Yeah.
You can't cut your grass.
Right.
There's such a judgment on that from that cultural
Yes.
society, from
Yes.
that culture.
Yeah.
Whereas someone in a white collar world doesn't think twice about paying someone to cut their grass.
Totally.
But that is such a statement of you're a snob.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, you got all this
Oh,
money.
fancy. Oh,
I know.
fancy pants here. Yeah, you're like, I
no,
know
it's
it's why.
Oh, you're not going to raise your own kids?
Yeah,
You're going to get a nanny to go to the
Yeah.
spa for an hour?
Yeah,
Oh, someone else
totally.
is raising your kids
Yeah.
now. That's very ingrained in
Oh,
my
I'm
thought
sure.
process.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when my husband comes home with like 3 Aviator Nation tracksuits and I have a heart attack. And I go,
Yeah.
you've done, that's like 2 car payments
Oh,
in
God. I
tracksuits.
wanted
Yeah.
that tracksuit so badly.
They're amazing.
I
They're
know,
really
they're
comfortable, but I have
They're
a hard
so
time wearing
expensive.
them because I put them on and I go,
so
you pretentious little snoot.
I
No,
know.
you should-
You know?
But, they're
But think about all the hard like work that you've put in to get here. You guys are a total team.
I know it in my brain.
Yeah, but it's just
This
hard.
is in the back of my brain.
Yes.
It's hard to buy a $700 tracksuit in your head. You're like, why? It's a tracksuit.
It's
I'll go to Marshall's and get a
tracksuit.
tracksuit if I really want. Yeah.
It's like this bag. I keep talking
my
about my Louis Vuitton bag. Do you remember this bag that I won at the raffle? And everybody
yeah,
person
yeah,
I go,
yeah.
I won this in a raffle.
Yeah.
I can't just, hey,
you can't
how you
live with that.
nice to meet you. I'm Leanne Kreischer. I won
Yes.
this bag in a raffle.
I won this. We did not buy
I
it.
did not buy this bag. I cannot. I've stopped carrying it.
Really?
I don't carry it. I have the little cosmetic bag inside my purse so no one can see it. But that I never carry that bag because I feel so embarrassed. I think people think I bought that bag. It's like a $4,000 bag.
But isn't that funny? Like that really what it is a reflection on your thoughts towards other people.
100%.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
100%. Because
I
I
would
look at
never
someone
even
and
look
go,
twice at that and
what
think,
asshole paid $400 for that bag? Yeah, of course I do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I do something similar where like I'll tell people like I have a nice car, but I'm like, but I got such a great deal on it.
Yeah,
You never
exactly.
I paid $300 a month. I know, isn't that crazy? You can't even drive a Honda for that.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know
Yes.
why. And it's like
You
no
have
one's
to explain
asking,
yourself.
but like
No.
I feel stupid, you know, or like our house, like we sold our condo and made all this money. I'm like, you know, this neighborhood is definitely not something we could usually do. But like, I don't know. No one's asking me and they don't need to know that. And I don't know why I feel like I need to tell them that. So I'm so with you. I so understand that.
Yeah, it's a crazy little mental glitch, isn't it?
It is. And I'm still, and I don't know if you're like this with your dad, I still live in fear of my parents finding out how we spend money. Like we have a gardener and my mom said the gnarliest thing to me. I live in fear that why do you need a gardener? You don't have that much grass. Well, Mom, because it takes Christian an hour a weekend that he'd prefer to spend $12 on.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
like seriously, or and my dad too. Like they really judge how we spend our money, and so I still live in fear where I'm like, well, I don't need to fucking tell you. Don't worry about it.
No,
I'm not
I
asking
totally
you for
hide
the money.
it. Totally
do they
hide
do
it.
that?
100%.
Really?
We just bought this new house, right? That needs remodeling.
Yeah.
But it's still really expensive because it's a really large lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of land.
Yeah.
Which is what we wanted.
Yeah.
And it took me like 6 weeks to send my dad the link to
Oh,
see the
no.
property. And he kept asking me, well, let me see it. No, you send me something. Let me see it. And when I sent it to him, he moved the comma in his brain over
No.
and thought we paid like
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
a
much more.
6-figure amount.
Yeah.
Instead of a 7-figure
Yeah,
amount because
yeah.
you can't really buy anything here
You cannot.
Oh, good
in
for
the
nothing. luck.
6-figure, right? It's
Mm-mm.
it
Maybe
sounds
it-
really snooty when I say that.
No,
but in
no.
LA, that's
if you
what
live in
things
California,
can
LA,
cost.
you know that.
Like a dumpy condo
So,
for.
yeah, my dad was like, "You got that for a good price," and I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And then the next time he came out, he read it correctly, and he was like, "You paid that much money? What were you thinking?" And I was
Oh.
like, "Shit!"
I can feel my stomach tightening. I know that
made me
feeling.
so nervous.
I know that feeling. Oh
I'd be
God.
so nervous. I was like, "But Daddy, we can afford it. We've been saving money,
And also, this is California.
and this is what it
just
cost
how-
here.
Mhm.
And
That
it's like-
house where you live would be $14.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
Can't get that here."
It's nice to know that it doesn't like it's not just me, and that you said you're going to be 50 this year. That you're still like worried
Still.
about like what your parents are going to say. You know? Oh my God.
Still,
Ugh. What are you going to do for your 50th? They're going to have a theme party.
I don't know.
You should have like an 80s
You gotta do
theme
something
party.
special.
Yeah,
That would be a
something
good
fun.
idea, 80s theme
Yeah.
party. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have a big party. Like I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have a big party. Our house should be finished like September, October.
Okay.
My birthday's in August, but I might
Okay.
push it and
Oh,
just
yeah.
have it
Like
at
a-
our house. Have like
Fun.
a backyard DJ,
That's cool.
big fun party. I don't know. Bert wants to take me somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like we're going to be in the thick of this house. And I
Yeah.
think that may not be good timing.
And that alone is like,
Very
It's huge.
stressful.
yeah.
It's huge. So
That's fun.
So I don't know. He wants to go to Paris. He wants to do this and that, and all
Do
those
it all.
things sound great.
Yeah.
But I think the timing of
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
what's going on in our real life, and our
It's a
daughter
lot.
will have just started high school,
Yeah.
first
That's
year
a
in
lot.
high school.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
First
year.
Yeah,
It'll be like the
freshman
first
year.
month or two
Yes.
in too.
Yeah, first
Yeah.
month of high school. I mean,
Yeah.
my birthday is a week after they start.
Oh, really?
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm like, the timing.
You got to be here.
Theme party.
Yeah.
Theme
feel like
party.
Like an 80s, like I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, Rikki said
Yeah.
whenever she had a kid, she wanted to do a Miami Vice theme party for the first year. Do a fake mound of coke. Do you remember that? Popped collar
And I'd
babies?
ask that everyone like put their kid in like a little suit with like a colorful
Oh my
pastel
God.
shirt.
I love this.
I think it's hilarious.
I
Our
think-
friends would think it was
Honestly,
funny.
I think that that's why you should have a kid. If we're really, I
Yeah,
really
theme
want to go to
party.
that party.
The
I want to
theme
go to that
parties.
party so bad.
Totally.
Like
Okay.
a fake
I'll think
jet
about
ski
that, yeah.
for pictures.
The baby mohawk.
I had a whole thing going. I love theme
The
parties.
big dimensional glasses. Like this. We all wore. I had these awesome triangular glasses.
Yes.
And one was like an isosceles. And one
Yes.
was something else. And one was red and one was black. I love
If I
those
have the
glasses.
kid and the first birthday, you will be invited to my
I would
Vice
love it.
themes. I mean, it's honestly something I've thought about for a while.
Yeah.
That
I'll
was
love the theme
awesome.
Oh my
parties.
God.
That's awesome.
Aye.
Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, we should.
I gotta
And
go to
you have to
work.
go to work. Yes.
And I don't want to. You know what? My second husband, I want to find. So just keep on the lookout. I want like an old man who has just a couple months to live.
Yes.
I'm willing to sit on their face for a little bit, but that's what I'm down for.
Yeah. We'll keep our eye out.
But
Keep your
lots
eye
of
out.
money, right?
That's what I mean. I want money so I don't
have
have
hard
to do-
out. You just
So I
said,
don't
"Oh,
have to
man,
like
couple
leave
months
your
to live."
podcast to go to work right now.
Right, right.
Talk about other people's problems. Just kidding.
You know
I mean,
anyone.
like,
But work is great.
No,
Work
no.
is-
Absolutely.
great.
I'm always very grateful for work,
Yeah.
but
And you're lucky you love what you do.
I do. I love doing hair. I love
Yeah.
what I do.
And you're good at it.
She's really fucking
I
good
am.
at it.
You're good at it. You
I
know,
am.
I have to say, one parent in Georgia's circle, I was at something the other day, and everybody's like foaming at the mouth about this. What are they taking junior year? And the mom just said, you know what? I'm a hairdresser. My husband's a hairdresser. We own a successful salon. Neither of us went to college.
Well, that's
Oh,
why
yeah.
I mean,
And-
I not to be like toot, but to add to, I make more money working part time than
A
the
lot
majority
of
of my friends
people
who went to
make full-time.
college.
Yeah.
So would plumbers.
Yeah.
You know?
Trade
Yeah.
schools
Would
where it's at.
electricians.
Oh my God, our
Electricians,
friend-
makes
our friend
$1 billion.
lives in a-
He's so rich. And he's
$1 million house.
Yeah.
Like
As an electrician, right?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
kills it.
Seriously.
Yeah. So
trade school's where it's at in my
Trade school
opinion.
is where it's
I
at.
agree. Skilled labor is a dying breed of
Be
human.
good at
You'll be
it. Fine.
25
Yeah.
making 60 grand a year and all your little friends are going to be in student debt making like nothing.
Yeah.
Like you know, like if you went to trade school for hair or
But
electric
college
whatever.
doesn't always mean it's not always the route. I'm not saying
No.
don't go to college, forget about
No,
education,
no, of
but
course not.
it's not always the only route to be successful.
One
It's
know?
definitely not, and it's really not for everybody.
Mm.
There's a kid
So
in our
annoying.
there. One of Isla's best friends has a brother who's in 5th grade, and that boy can build anything with his hands. And you
Mhm.
just go,
That's amazing.
he may not go to college. He may be a mechanic. He may be an electrician or a plumber
Mhm.
because that guy can figure out how shit works
Yeah.
and just build something
Totally.
from like little bitty.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's struggling in school.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
definitely
Not for
got some
him.
kind of dyslexia going
Yeah.
on. And you go,
But he's
you know
clearly
what?
smart.
Really
Yeah.
smart
His
kid.
brain just works in a different.
Yeah.
Totally. And there's
Yeah.
only
That's
one high school that I know of. I'm sure somebody will say, no, there's this high school.
Yeah,
But one
yeah.
that I know of in this valley
Uh huh.
that has vocational classes on campus.
That's
Oh,
a bummer.
that-
One high school.
That sucks.
That's it.
That's the only one I know of.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So there may be more.
but it's rare. Clearly, it's a rarity.
It's rare.
Yeah.
And they stake their flag and say, we have auto mechanic, we have graphic designer, we
love
have
that.
culinary,
so cool.
we have
Ugh.
flower arranging.
Oh, I
we
love
have- see,
that.
I would love to go to that school.
Me too. What school is that?
I-
Oh, I
Wow,
love
really?
that.
Yep. I love that
That's
school.
I'm
Interesting.
so all about that because what a
I
way to
love
make
it.
a kid who is probably feeling stupid every day
Yep.
sitting
Mhm.
in that fucking classroom.
Yep.
What a way to make him feel like, oh, I'm fucking good at shit.
Mhm.
Absolutely. They have
Yep.
wood shop.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
They have
love
all
that.
those classes that they
That's
had back when
amazing.
I was in school That was
I wanna
just
go there right
normal.
now.
It's such
I
a great
know.
school.
Let's go tour
I was trying to
Colorado.
get both my kids to go to that school.
Ugh.
Because I was
So
like,
done
this
cool.
school's amazing.
It's
And
almost like a free Montessori school.
Yeah.
It
It's
is.
a public Montessori school,
it's
essentially.
definitely a gateway into a
like
career.
Finding
Totally.
a pathway of like what you're
Like the
good at.
graphic design, we toured their graphic design studio, and they're making every flyer, every brochure for everything that happens
So
in that
cool.
school. And I was like, these kids are leaving skilled.
I love
leaving
They're like on the
skilled.
low, like running a business.
right?
Oh my
No, I
God.
love that.
Yeah. Anyway, I know you got to get to work. Thank you so
I
much
know.
for
Thank
making
you.
the
Thanks for
drive.
This is I love hanging
We
out with
love
you.
Same
doing
here.
I feel like
podcasts
I'm
with
just
you.
hanging. I love this.
Same here.
This
And
is
I can
so
always come to your
amazing.
garage. You don't always have to come here.
You can. I'm just like embarrassed.
know,
To
I'm,
put
like,
you
embarrassed,
in, like, our
but
little
yeah, we'll do
garage.
Why?
I don't know.
Don't be embarrassed. Honey, I grew up in 5 trailers.
Okay.
You can't show me nothing. I hadn't
Well,
seen.
then
Done.
next
Then
time you
next
come
time
to
you're
the
coming to
garage.
us.
Okay, so I'll come to you
I love
next
it.
time.
Yeah, and then
That's
yeah,
perfect.
we could take you to lunch somewhere in Ventura too.
That'd be awesome.
We do it at my house in my garage with like
Okay.
all the motorcycles in there and stuff, and we have like
Let's get
a
back
little-
to the
we have some
roots.
Playboy magazines.
Yeah.
So cool.
Okay.
I would love that. All right. Well,
Thank
thanks for
you.
coming.